the chemical composition of your ice is much different than everyone else's.
Can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
Or it could be
with
just
me
the ice that you pick up could be that the chemical composition of that ice specifically is different than every other ice on Earth.
How warm's your water when you're putting it in there?
I don't know. I don't fill up the ice.
No, she just empties it.
No, I actually don't. I don't ever use ice. I just decided to today because I wanted to be fancy. But as you can see, it means nothing.
What?
I want some of those cups.
They came with the Jack bottles.
How expensive was that Jack bottle?
The same price. Sometimes they do promotional shit where they give you stuff with their bottle of Jack.
I got a couple of Johnny Walker cups that I got when I bought one of those gift sets or whatever Kroger had a long time ago. I've never used them, but
I use the Jack Daniels cups all the time.
I got the little Jack cups, but one of them,
the ones with the cowboy heads on them and stuff.
One of them had a dude on it, and I think one of them just said like Jack Daniels on it.
Yeah,
yeah, one of them
like this tall.
Yeah,
I've got
one of them I use as a painting cup.
That's what I use it for.
Yeah, like I think I've had.
I've got one in my bathroom that I use for Q-tips.
Like I think I've had like so much whiskey in them things, washing them and everything.
Yeah,
it's just completely off the print that was
on
the
it. Print, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a clear cup. But
all right, well, welcome back.
Hi.
We are the Bonsai Movie Crew. I love starting it, and you guys don't even know that I press record.
I figured you did.
Yeah, so.
I'm slow, so bear
Well,
with
you were
me.
talking about eyes. I was like, record. Let's listen to Madison sound like a dumbass for 2 minutes.
Talking about eyes.
Ice. Like I said. You chopped it off right at 2 minutes, too. Anyway, welcome back. We are the Bonsai Movie Crew. Don't forget to check out all our socials like Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, and then come check us out on Discord.
Look.
What? Yeah, he likes those things.
What is that?
Smirnoff screwdriver.
The screwdriver.
Oh.
Not
I
a
had
real
him last
screwdriver.
week.
I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
You're standing. Or you're.
Frank.
Yeah, you threw him on the floor. Where's he at?
He's on camera still.
What'd you do with my fucking...
He's down there.
Oh my god. It's not a bad... It's like a nice little hiding spot for him.
That's funny. She said he's still on camera.
Sitting on her bag of M&Ms.
Oh my god.
I'm just giving him the spotlight he deserves.
Right.
By my feet.
Who's doing timestamps?
I can. I don't have a marker.
Am I the only one that ever comes prepared?
Fuck yeah, you are.
I mean, I can do
I
a
got
timestamp.
I got it.
No, I want Jeremiah to do it because he does a
Oh.
good job.
Whoa.
Last time you did it, I was like, where the fuck is this? I think it was like 4 minutes off and shit. I'm like scrolling through.
I'm not good with time, okay?
No, you're not.
Not good with time.
You don't even know how to read an analog clock, so.
We're not gonna talk about that. I do too. It just takes me a minute and it's not specific.
That reminded me, have you ever seen Corky Romano?
Yes.
Remember that time when he was like, you never taught me how to read. And he's like, of course you know how to read. I see you walking around here all the time with magazines, Penthouse, Playboy. Oh.
Oh. Alright.
All right, anyway, let's move on. Let's get into our creator profile.
Who we got?
You know, I was going to do Tobin Bell, but there is nothing about him on the internet.
It's because he doesn't really exist.
Maybe. I mean, maybe
Oh.
he's a
He's
made-up-
actually a bunch of mice in a man suit.
That's not weird at all. What are you doing? Stop grabbing my shit.
You were too slow.
I know, I wasn't thinking about it. I
I
was doing so good up
Take
until
another
now.
guess.
didn't guess the first time. You said I was going to do
Nutsack
Tobin
Donnie
Bell.
Wahlberg.
Right, it is Donnie Wahlberg.
I was gonna. That's who.
He's
I
about the
was.
only person. Like, who else am I gonna do?
Tobin Bell.
I tried to. I couldn't find nothing.
The
on
chicken
him.
plate Amanda.
I thought about that. It was a toss up between her and Donnie Wahlberg.
Why would you pick Donnie Wahlberg?
Because he was in the fucking New Kids on
And
the
I'm
Block.
sure she'll be in
Who
the
gives a
next one.
fuck?
Old people?
I'm older than you.
Well, okay, old women. Don't say you're more of a woman than me, because that's weird.
I'm not even going there. I'm just saying. Like that's an odd choice, but I guess it's your decision.
I'm
Well,
not
there wasn't a
even
lot of
going
people
there.
to pick from in this movie, just her. And there's still another Saw movie we have to do.
do Costas Mandalay in that one.
Which, by the way, he took my deal. My deal was 3 Saw movies and no more Avatar. I remembered.
I think maybe it was.
I don't want to watch another Avatar.
Costas
anyways.
Mandalay in the third one.
I don't know.
Who?
I've only
Costas Mandalay.
Who's that?
I've only seen
Guy in the third one.
I've only seen the first 3 Saw movies.
You know what? And Karen,
He's an
I'm so
actor.
glad you took that deal because
I
I
don't
did
know who
not
he
want to
is.
watch another Avatar movie. I can't stand those movies. They all make me want to die.
I know, right?
Thank you.
There, that's fucking bad, Jesus.
Got it anyways.
That fucking guy.
Oh, I don't think he's in the third one.
Then maybe it's the fourth one then. Who's in the fucking? I don't know.
He might be in the third one.
Because I thought he was at the end. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Who else?
I don't remember who's in the third one, to be honest with you. I need to look that up before I get my continuity fucked
Do you
up.
want me to read about him?
Yeah, you guys start reading about
Yeah, I'd like to hear about Donnie Wahlberg.
it. Is that sarcasm?
Donnie Wahlberg. You listening?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm zoned in.
You're like,
Okay,
I'm
okay,
all
okay.
up in.
I
on
am
this.
all up in
Yeah,
this.
he's
Okay,
in the
I
third
will
one.
get into character.
Yep, I'm
Who
ready.
Is
in the third
Donnie
one.
Wahlberg.
I really don't know. Who is he? The last name sounds familiar.
In 1984, Donnie Wahlberg auditioned for music producer Maurice Starr. You know who that is?
Maurice Starr.
I'm sorry. Was that expensive piece?
I want to stop you right there. We could always do Chester Bennington for the third one. Because he's at the beginning.
Oh yeah, he's the dude stuck to the
Mhm.
seat, right? Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird, dude.
Why?
Because he's not in it for very long.
I know. but
Doesn't
he's-
It'd be
matter,
like
really.
doing him for Crank 2. The dude shows up and buys a pop or something. You're like, create a profile. I don't know. It just seems weird to do like a bit part.
Well, there's always either Carrie Ellis or Sean Patrick Flannery, too.
Sean
Yeah.
Patrick Flannery.
So there's those two.
Sean Patrick Flannery was in the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's a detective or something, ain't he?
I don't know what he is. No,
I don't
think
think
he's
he doesn't play a
detective.
big role, but I think
I think he died. I don't know. I can barely remember either of these movies.
the right stuff.
I remember
Yeah, we
the
got
second,
the
the
right
first and the second one for sure.
That's literally.
I remember a little bit of the third one. I don't remember that much from any of these fucking movies. So
They-
'Cause I don't
they
care.
get-
I only know it 'cause of
Honestly,
Full
that's all.
House.
I don't remember hardly. Like when this one started playing, I thought it was the third one. Like
you
Like-
had the
I had the third movie in my head
In your
about this
head,
one,
yeah.
and then I'm like, oh no,
Nope.
this is
Yeah.
not that one.
This is not that one. Well, wait, you were so invested. Hold on.
Yeah,
you
I'm in
immediately
it.
enlisted Wahlberg to form the centerpiece of New Kids on the Block.
He was the centerpiece, though. I thought that one other dude was. I don't know.
Donnie
I don't-
Wahlberg's the only new kid on the block that I know of.
There was like another dude, wasn't there?
There's a few of them. There's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, one of them was
Oh.
gay.
Well, aren't they?
That was
Don't they all have a gay one?
yeah. Wasn't it Lance Bass? What was he
That was
from?
it.
Yeah,
NSYNC?
well, that's that's what I'm
Backstreet
saying.
Boys
They.
never did though.
Oh yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it'd probably be news.
Yeah, I think we'd know
It'd
by
be
now.
news,
Yeah. Like, especially since they've been around for what 30 years.
Yeah.
Something
They
like
keep
that.
trying to get all of them for sexual assault at some point, or SA. I'm sorry.
What's SAM?
I'm sorry.
SA sexual assault.
Yeah, you
What's
can't
M?
say that. You get canceled.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you
They
can't.
can't
say,
cancel something when it's not monetized.
like when they say rape, they say grape now.
Wait, can they go back and like cancel your old stuff if you get
Fuck yeah, they do
monetized?
that shit to actors and actresses all the time.
Did you hear Kevin Spacey's crying because he can't pay his bills?
Well,
Maybe he should-
He shouldn't have SA'd a little boy.
Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't just that. There was a bunch of them that came forward.
Yeah.
I loved how his excuse was, "I'm gay."
Yeah, that was
That was
Doesn't
not news
matter.
to anyone.
Does not matter.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, but it wasn't news to anyone. Like, we're like, yeah, we know.
Nobody cares.
Like, we don't care about
that.
that.
Still doesn't give you the right to
Exactly. I know a
force
lot of
yourself
gay
onto
men
children.
that don't do that. So let's
Yeah.
roll on. Anyway,
In 1994, the group parted ways. Phew.
collectively, America, we were like, we are so disappointed in you, Kevin Spacey. So disappointed.
Very disappointed.
Wahlberg then decided to try acting. He first gained notice as an actor when his role in the 1999 movie The Sixth Sense, The Fifth Element. Okay, yeah.
Holy
The
shit, that's the
Sixth
same guy? The real skinny guy?
Yeah, that's
Is
Donnie
it-
Wahlberg. You never know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, the one that broke in to his house or whatever. Yeah, that's Donnie Wahlberg.
I knew it was a Wahlberg. I didn't know that was him.
He's been in a few good movies.
Okay.
Honestly, I could probably tell you too.
I know which movie
This
I'm picking
one
for my
and
favorite.
The Sixth Sense.
He was also in. He was also Duddits in Dreamcatcher.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one with the poop monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And he
I'm
was
Duddits.
I'm Duddits. Yeah, he's Duddits.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
And then
It's good.
Really? It's good. People hate it, but I love it.
I liked it. Yeah.
Also, he was in.
I read the book too, though. So I have,
Ransom.
Like, a soft
He was in
spot for it.
Ransom with Mel Gibson.
Yes, he was. He was in Ransom. He was one of the bad guys, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the
The
one
only bad
who.
guy I remember is Gary.
Well, he was a bad guy, but he was. I think he was the one that was like.
He was the one that had like
that,
the soft
like,
spot. and
Had
he
the
was
soft
trying-
spot
yeah.
for the kid.
Yeah.
I have to go back and rewatch that. I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
Yeah, it's been a long time ago, but yeah, he was in it.
In 2008, New Kids on the Block, now known as NKOTB,
Oh, he was also in
Reunited.
Dead Silence.
The group went on tour with
I
Boys
barely
II
remember that
Men
movie.
There's nothing to
and
remember about it.
98
The
Fuck you.
soundtrack-
Degrees
Soundtrack.
soundtrack.
was
in
decent.
2013.
I like that movie.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's cool. Early life and siblings. Donnie Wahlberg was born Donald Edmund Wahlberg Jr. Jesus Christ. On August 17th, 1969, in Donald Edmund. Donnie? Oh, okay. On August 17th, 1969, in Boston,
Calm down.
Massachusetts. I can't say that word.
He
He does.
What?
He looks
Donnie
like Murr.
Wahlberg looks like Murr from fucking.
Yeah, he does. Smiling like that, he definitely looks like Murr. Fuck yeah, dude. Exactly like Murr. Show that
So
to
he's got more
Madison. She'll
hair.
know what you're talking about.
He's got more hair.
Yeah, more hair than Murr.
Dude.
Exactly
Yeah.
like Murr. Yeah.
Man, that's what they should do. They should do a prank with him. Just replace them
Dress
two.
him up like Murr.
Yeah.
They could do a mirror thing, like Murr's looking in a mirror and he's like,
I've got hair. Or some anyway.
On August 17th, 1969, in Boston, Massachusetts.
Nope.
Mass-
She used to say massive two shits.
she had to slow way down.
Massive chew shits.
in Boston, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
And grew up in a predominantly Irish American neighborhood of the city. He was the eighth of nine children. His younger sibling, Mark Wahlberg, is also a famous entertainer. Mark Wahlberg, he is in that one movie with Kevin Hart, isn't he?
He's in a shit ton of
He's in a
stuff.
shitload of movies.
It's called.
Lead Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Garbage. Yeah.
I've never seen it. I
Daddy's
just
Home.
saw it on
He was in
Netflix.
Kill
Yeah,
Film.
that guy. I thought they were related because they look similar. I was like, that kind of looks like that other guy, but it's not because
Yeah.
I know that's not what his
Well,
name
they were
is.
both singers back in the early 90s, late 80s. Because
Marky Mark.
Marky and the Funky Bunch, he
yeah.
was a hip hop artist.
And he did a lot of Calvin Klein commercials and stuff too. He
Mhm.
was a model.
Yep, that's it.
No, that's Donnie.
Well, that's
That's New Kids
New
on
Kids
the
on the
Block. Oh man, it's gonna be stuck in my head all
the
night
trumpet
now.
version.
Is almost a famous. Almost is also a famous
His
entertainer.
name was Big Balls in a movie called Bullet.
Did you add Faster to the list?
Hmm?
Faster.
Faster? Is that
Master
a thing?
Bullet.
It's a movie.
I can add it.
Never even heard of it.
It's got The Rock
I'm
in
just
it.
gonna do that randomly.
Wow.
It's like an
throughout the
older
podcast
rock
today.
movie. It's really good.
Is it the?
It is. Compared to what he does now, it's very good. It's got Billy Bob Thornton in it too.
Alright. Wahlberg's mother, Alma Wahlberg, worked as a nurse's assistant at nearby St. Margaret Hospital, and his father, Donald Wahlberg, was a truck driver and active member of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Labor Union. Nobody cares.
Jesus.
Well, we're not here to learn about his parents, we're here to learn about him.
Well, that is learning about him, sort of.
Huh?
Nothing. Roll on.
With so many children to provide for, the Wahlbergs were often strapped for cash. Wahlberg's mother recalled, "When I think about it now, I realize how hard it was, but back then we never even realized it. We thought everyone had all these kids, everyone lived like this." Though the family was extraordinarily close, attending church together every Sunday, arguments among siblings were frequent. Donnie was looked to as a family peacemaker. We'd fight over clothes or who had the prettier girlfriend. Which of us was the best athlete, stuff like that, he later recalled. In the 1970s, when Donnie Wahlberg began elementary school, Boston was embroiled in fierce controversy over the mandatory busing of school children to enforce the desegregation of public schools.
You
But
should try talking into the mic.
I'm reading. But busing.
Calm down.
You keep telling me to calm down. Shut up, Mom.
I'm just trying to keep the peace.
Okay, Donnie.
Yeah,
I don't want to see fights breaking out.
Oh, that's later because he leaves bruises. So
No,
No, I don't. I use a phone book.
Yeah, see.
we don't have a phone book.
I have a phone book.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. It's called a cell
Really?
phone.
Go get it.
Yeah. Your contact.
I don't think
list.
you're gonna beat her with
Evidence!
your cell phone.
You guys see it, right? Evidence.
Yeah, you just pull up your contact list. And
Put up your face and punch it.
Anyways, put Wahlberg's life on a course toward fame and success. Don't know what we were talking about, but you know. Wahlberg was bused, okay, more than half an hour each way to William Monroe Trotter School, a mostly black elementary school in Roxbury. On those long bus rides, and at Trotter School, Wahlberg developed a deep affection for the soul and rap music popular among his black friends. Wahlberg's musical idol was Michael Jackson, and he taught himself the moonwalk and saved his allowance to buy a red leather jacket like the one Jackson wore in the iconic Thriller music video. Soon Wahlberg and Danny Wood, a friend also being bused to Roxbury, began spending their afternoons composing rap lyrics instead of their homework. Being bused to school in Roxbury was the greatest thing that ever happened to us, Wahlberg later remembered. Wahlberg's parents divorced when he was 12 years old, and he and Mark went to live with their mother while the rest of their siblings either moved in with their father or were already out on their own as young adults. Donnie and his friend Danny Wood advanced together to Copley High School? I don't know. Probably Copley, but the world hates me, so. Where they formed a rap group named the Kool-Aid Bunch. They kept up rapping, Wahlberg says, not because we thought we'd rap or be dance stars.
Did they have a song called "Oh Yeah"?
But just because it was really fun and we loved the girls screaming for us at parties.
Did they all say "Oh yeah"? Oh yeah!
Oh yeah, they screamed it, you know? Anyways, New Kids on the Block. Yeah, this is a really long paragraph about New Kids on the Block.
You was surprised. There was a lot on him. I was like, holy shit.
But
he was in a boy band in the 80s, specifically the latter half. And that's all you need to know.
They had a few hits and some other shit. And
they had a few. I only know one. I'm sure there was more than one, but I
I'm
only
sure
know
there was.
one.
But
They got the right stuff.
Yeah, baby. That's all I know.
I know back when we were kids, Cody loved the New Kids on the Block. But we were like little.
That's like One Direction for me. Like everybody in kindergarten was buying One Direction posters at the book fair, and I'm like, who is One Direction? And Why does everybody love them so much?
The first time I ever heard of New Kids on the Block was I went into somebody's bedroom and they had like a clock. You remember those clocks that were on people's walls that were like watches? Somebody had one of those. And I was like, what's that? And they're like, New Kids on the Block. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Whenever it dinged, did it go bum bum ba da da?
I hope so.
The right time.
Oh man. In 1984, at the age of 15, Donnie's friends persuaded him to audition for well-known music producer Maurice Starr. Ooh, it's that guy again.
Whoa.
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 Starr was holding open auditions to create a new boy band of white teenagers to mirror the success of his other band, the all-African-American R&B group New Edition.
Why couldn't they just be interracial?
No.
Why did it have to be a black band and a white band?
I so thought she was going to say Boys to Men because that's the only one I knew of.
That was the only
No,
one.
there was another one. John used to listen to him all the time.
I don't think I ever heard a New Edition
was
either.
Yeah.
Okay.
After watching hundreds of auditions, Starr was amazed by Wahlberg's combination of singing, dancing, and rapping talent, and
I guess they would've
immediately
been
enlisted
90s,
him
wouldn't
to
they?
form the centerpiece
Boys
of
to
the
Men.
new group.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
What?
94, 95.
Boys to Men, they would have been in the 90s.
Boys to Men, yeah. I think they were early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
This was 84.
Yeah.
Alright, Wahlberg quickly recruited brothers Mark and Danny Wood, as well as another friend, Jordan Knight, and Knight's older brother, Jonathan. However, unhappy
That's
with
who I
the
was
band's
thinking of, the Jordan
pop-friendly
guy.
artists...
I thought he was like the center one, Jordan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the one that all the girls... I think it was him and Donnie Wahlberg were the ones that they
The
obsessed
two,
over.
okay.
artistic direction. Mark soon left the group and was replaced by another friend, James Kelly. Starr didn't like Kelly's style, however, and soon replaced him with his recruit, Joey McIntyre. Whoops. Joey McIntyre. Why does he sound familiar?
I think he
does sound familiar.
I think he was in the news. He had some kind of disease or something. He was really sick or he died or something. I remember.
Joey McIntyre.
And New Kids? I thought that was Jordan. I thought she said Jordan.
No, it was Jonathan Knight and his brother. They both were in there.
Oh,
Jonathan was a gay one.
okay.
His boyfriend outed him.
He's still alive.
Well,
Yeah,
I think he was in the news. I think he was really sick or something there for a while. I think that.
You know, for... How old is he? 51.
51.
For a band that you guys don't care that much about, you sure are talking a lot about him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, he was in the news recently, that one that she's talking about.
Joey McIntyre?
Yeah. Like the past few years or 10 years or something. I thought he was in the news for being
I
real
don't know
sick or
nothing
something.
about the New Kids on the
I
Block.
don't know. Does he look familiar to you? He doesn't look familiar, but I recognize his.
I don't know what he looks like. I just remember seeing the name.
His face does look a little familiar.
Who is it?
Joey McIntyre. I can't. Why doesn't it scroll? Oh, there it goes.
You asked dumb questions. I already told you why.
Because it's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Good lord.
it has its moments.
Yeah, he does look familiar. I bet I've seen him on something. Maybe I just know him from the New Kids on the Block. Whenever I was a kid.
Oh, I know where I know him from, because whenever I watched Fuller House, that's all they were talking about was Joey McIntyre.
No.
That's why I know him.
Fuller House?
Yeah.
Maybe
Donnie
that's what it
Wahlberg
was. He was in
on
the
an
news
episode.
for. Maybe it was that.
You know why I watched Fuller House?
You know why I didn't watch Full House? 'Cause
You
I went
didn't?
back and watched Fuller House because I went back and watched Full House.
No, I watched it for, what's her name?
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
She's hot.
Jody, whatever her name is.
I don't know.
Jodie Sweetin.
Jody, yeah, I think it's Jody Sweden. She's
Yeah,
hot.
she was like a meth head at one point, wasn't she?
I think
No,
so.
I think she was just bad. Well, she might have been. I know she was pretty. She was fucked up for a while. I know
Yeah,
that.
I'm pretty
but she
sure
got
she
clean.
was a meth head.
But she's
Yeah,
hot,
she was,
dude.
She was really.
Good lord,
really
she's got
bad
some
on it
nice-
For a while.
Hair.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it drapes.
Yeah, it drapes right down to here. That's what I'm looking at. Is the
Tad, your
lower
other
part of her
back.
hair.
Give me
I like
shit
her.
all
I
the
like
time.
her. The ends of her hair.
The split ends.
Yep, whatever they may be. I couldn't even tell you the color of her hair, to be honest with you.
Yes, you can.
It's blonde. It's blonde.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of is when they did Fuller House, he was in the news for that. I just remember hearing his name on the news or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Donnie Wahlberg was in Fuller House
Was he?
from one episode.
Yeah, but I remember.
Yeah,
him.
it was like
Playing
DJ's
his-
birthday or
playing
something.
himself.
Well,
I
it was
seen that.
DJ's birthday, and they were like, "Let's get the New Kids on the Block up here."
Of course you did.
I don't know. I can't.
All right, keep going because there's a lot to read.
Oh, sorry.
Tangent.
Oh man.
Side.
They eventually
Sidebar.
decided to call, themselves New Kids on the Block, a name taken from one of Donnie's rap lyrics. New Kids on the Block signed with Columbia Records and released their self-titled debut album in 1986. The group's first single, Be My Girl, received almost no airplay outside of Boston, and album sales were abysmal. I wonder why. When their first album, a failure... they didn't do, they said a failure. The band returned to the studio with Star, and 2 years later released a second album, Hangin' Tough. After a slow start, during which it appeared that the new album would go as unnoticed as its predecessor, the album's lead single, Please Don't Go Girl, began receiving significant airplay, at first in Boston only, and then nationally. Please Don't Go Girl peaked at number 10 on the Billboard singles chart. New Kids on the Block followed up with two even more successful singles, You Got It, The Right Stuff, which peaked at number 3, and I'll Be Loving You Forever, which also is in Full House. Jesse sings it to his wife. I can never remember her name.
Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky. Yeah.
Why I remember that name, I couldn't tell you.
And
She
the
was
first episode
goddamn,
and at their
dude.
wedding.
Back whenever I was a kid and watching Full House, I didn't give a fuck about nobody
No,
but
she
her.
was hot.
She was fucking hot. I was like
She still looks
10
good
watching
for
that
her
show.
age.
Like, damn, I'd hit that mom.
Aunt Becky.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Aunt Becky, dude.
She's still
Kim.
hot.
Kimmy?
Kimmy Gibbler.
What?
Kimmy Gibbler. Yeah.
Did you really?
No.
God, I
No.
hope
She,
not.
she didn't grow up to be.
No,
Too
she's
bad.
not ugly.
Yeah.
No, not by any means.
She's still
I don't
really
know.
pretty
I
now.
don't think I really had a crush on any of them.
I didn't have a crush on. Well, I can't say no. I did have a crush on DJ back when I was a kid. A slight crush on DJ. She got hotter as she grew up too, though.
Because of her hair.
Everything about her, really. I mean, they're
You're
both
talking
hot.
about Stephanie.
Well, I like both of them.
Okay. Which became the act's first #1 single by late 1989. Hangin' Tough was the #1 album in the country. After a successful holiday album in 1990, New Kids on the Block released a third full studio album, Step by Step, which also reached #1 on the Billboard charts.
Memory Unlocked. I know that song too.
I think so, yeah.
I know
I
the
feel like
TV
I've heard
show.
it. I recognize the title of it.
What is it?
Step
Step
by
by
Step.
Step.
I don't know it. Step by Step. I know the show. Step by
Yeah,
Step.
that's what I said.
No, I know the
I know the
Step by
show.
Step. Ooh, baby. Something.
I don't know.
Let's
that.
let's continue reading. Let's
Okay.
not do all that.
Boosted by the hit single Step by Step and Tonight, for a time, New Kids on the Block was the most popular and lucrative musical act in America. After spending several years out of the limelight in 1994, the group shortened its name to NKOTB. Why I could say that is beyond me. Parted ways with Star and released a new album, Face the Music, featuring a harder and more aggressive sound, despite a fairly positive critical reception. The album performed poorly. That's because they let Star go. Bet you anything.
I didn't know this was gonna be a whole thing about the New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, I told you it was a big paragraph.
Jesus.
Since the band's heyday, musical tastes had shifted toward harder edge, grunge rock, and gangster acts, and NKOTB's bubblegum image proved a tough sell. Later in 1994, the group parted ways. Phew! Gotta wipe that sweat from my brow. We're done with that part.
Now that everybody knows everything there is to know about New Kids on the Block.
Movies
Do we
and
need to
TV.
though?
Right, we're doing a Saw. This is for Saw 2, and we're talking about New Kids on the Block.
Bubblegum.
Instead of pursuing a solo music career, Donnie decided to follow in the footsteps of his younger brother Mark by trying his hand at acting. At first, he landed only bit parts as drug dealers or other tough types in films such as Ransom in 1996 and Black Circle Boys in 1997, but Wahlberg gained notice as an actor in 1999 with an astonishing performance as the deranged ex-patient who threatens Bruce Willis in the acclaimed film The Sixth Sense. Was it? Okay. Wahlberg lost 43 pounds for the role, and audiences were shocked to discover that the emaciated, hysterical figure was the same clean-cut Donnie Wahlberg from New Kids on the Block.
I was
Since
shocked.
then,
I just found out. Learn
since
something
then,
new every day. I knew it was a Wahlberg, I just didn't know it was him.
Wahlberg has enjoyed a steady and successful acting career with credits including Band of Brothers in 2001, Saw 2 in 2005, and Blue Bloods in 2010. Also starring Tom Selleck. Sure.
Yeah.
And KOTB. Oh my goodness.
Again?
Reunion in recent years. In
They got
2000,
back
did I say
together
wipe the sweat from your brow then? I meant wipe it whenever I'm done here.
New Kids on the Block are making my daughter sweat. That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
Keep chomping your gum. That's why they're called the bubble gum. Or whatever. Bubble gum. Whatever. Just keep reading. I don't know where it's going with that.
I don't know either. In 2008, Donnie rejoined former members of New Kids on the Block for a reunion album, The Block, which, like the group's previous projects,
Nobody gave a shit.
reached number 1 on the Billboard charts.
Oh.
The band backed the album with a world tour, and though they weren't nearly as popular as they had been 2 decades, before, New Kids on the Block, again achieved success by reconnecting with their long-lost Die-Hard fans.
That's a movie. Like, what would that have to do with the music?
And then they said Bruce Willis earlier. I think they're trying to give commemoration.
It's the 6th Die Hard movie. It's called The New Kids Die Hard on the Block.
I think I watched that on Sunny, too.
In the summer of 2013, Wahlberg performed with the rest of NKOTB on the package tour to support their new album, 10. That's what the album's called, 10.
10? Like, isn't the number?
I guess so. The tour also featured fellow boy bands 98 Degrees and Boys to Men. Donnie and Mark Wahlbergers. Mark's Wahlburgers. Okay.
Yeah. It's a restaurant they have in Boston. There was a TV show about it too. Like a reality show.
Okay.
Is it just in Boston? Because I remember hearing about it too.
I know it's in Boston. I don't know if they have.
I know that was where they opened it. I just
They might have a franchise. I don't know.
I didn't know.
Along with brothers Mark and Paul, the eldest of the young Wahlberg men, Donnie Wahlberg, generated buzz in January 2014 with the premiere of a new reality series on AE, highlighting the Bostonian families, hamburger joint in Hingham, Shore, Mass. Wahlbergs.
So it's not in Boston, but it's in fucking Massachusetts.
It's
whatever.
Hingham.
They got one in Dayton.
Massachusetts.
Do they really?
Yeah, Google reviews gives it 2.4. It's inside of fucking Hollywood Gaming Dayton Raceway.
But it's bad.
Well, it's in a casino or like a gambling joint, so
Yeah.
that's probably why it has a
Poor
bad-
review.
Yeah.
Before people get angry with their gambling, there's like,
Fuck this cheeseburger.
yeah.
Cheeseburger sucks. And I lost $300 today.
So
$300
$300
and I gotta pay $30 for a
Wahlburgers.
cheeseburger
I'm saying
too.
this $25 cheeseburger isn't helping.
This is bullshit.
In summer 2013, wrong, hello. Highlighting the Bostonian family's hamburger joint in Hingham, Massachusetts. I said it fast.
Whoop.
Wahlburgers, where
Almost fucked it
Paul,
Moving
the
on
second
up.
time.
where Paul serves as head chef, and shedding light on the siblings' relationships and personalities. The show quickly garnered acclaim from both fans and critics, earning praise for being unlike anything any of the Wahlberg boys had done previously. Really?
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
Starting not to like this guy. Anyways, wife and kids. Wahlberg married Kim Fay in 1999, and after 9 years together, the couple divorced in 2008. They have 2 sons, Xavier and Elijah. In 2013, Wahlberg began dating TV personality Jenny McCarthy.
That's a mistake.
Okay.
I mean, what? I blacked out
I'm
for a
sure
second.
that's fun.
Yeah, I bet it is.
McCarthy announced their engagement on The View in April 2014, and the couple wed.
She announced it on
There-
The View.
I was
of
gonna
all
say there's
places?
so many things wrong with that sentence.
Yeah.
Oh, I blacked out again.
Can I just say this? In all these summaries, why is wife and kids always the shortest summary?
Because they just give you a brief summary of like their wife and their kids. That's all it is.
But shouldn't like that be the biggest part of your life?
No, because a lot of them want to keep their private lives as private as possible.
I know. Norman Reedus, no one knows what his kids look like because he has
On
like
purpose.
pictures of her, but only from like either her face isn't showing or like it's from behind or
On purpose, yeah.
everybody knows what his wives look like though. Wife, not wives.
Yeah, it's Diane Kruger.
Well,
Yeah, Diane
technically
Kruger.
wives. He's been married a couple times.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's still with Diane Kruger.
I'm pretty sure too.
She's another actress.
Anyways,
There's this fucking kid. Fucking Mingus.
Who the fuck is that?
That's Norman Reedus' kid.
The older one.
oh, that's the older one. I'm talking about his little girl.
Mingus.
Mingus?
Yeah.
That's what he fucking named him,
What the fuck kind
Mingus.
of name is that?
It's Norman Reedus.
Whatever.
I'm pretty sure he's hot all the time. So
Hot? Because he's always
Hi.
looking sweaty?
hi.
He
I
looks
think
like
he
he's
thought. I think that he was like really high at the time and didn't know
I don't
he
think
was
he
having
likes
a
to
kid.
shower.
I don't think he realized he was having a kid. I think he thought it was a dog, so he named him Mingus.
I think he needs to shower more.
I think you're basing
just
that
looks
on
like
a
that in
TV
the
show that he was
show.
on for a
No,
really
I
long
see
time.
him even like in interviews and like he was on that
He looked
podcast
clean
with
in Boondock Saints.
sort of. His hair always looks so greasy.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's
it's
just the way. It is.
Supposed to.
He was dirty and fucking 8mm.
Well, yeah, he was supposed to be dirty and 8mm. He's a fucking asshole.
Anyway, let's move on here. Oh, sorry. Favorite Donnie Wahlberg movies? Anybody?
Saw 2.
Saw 2.
Dead Silence.
Dead
Fuck you. I like that
Silence.
movie.
I'm sorry.
Dad, you go.
Okay. I'm gonna go Dreamcatcher.
That was my second pick.
Yeah, Dreamcatcher's awesome.
I really like that movie. I don't care what
It was
anybody
a
says.
toss
I like
between
it.
that and Ransom,
He
but I
was
ain't
in
seen Ransom in so
Zookeeper?
long. I don't
What's
know.
Zookeeper?
It's a
That
funny
movie-
movie. It's got that one Paul
Kevin
Blart
James.
guy in it.
Stupid.
This is general rule
Yeah,
of
I'm gonna
Kevin
go ahead
James.
and go
Yeah.
with Saw 2 because I didn't like Zookeeper either.
And he wasn't in
Huh?
The Sixth Sense very long, was it?
No.
No.
It was like a
but-
bit part. He just
Yeah.
showed up in a back.
He is kind of a big part in it, though, if you think about the responsibility he has in it.
once you see him in Dreamcatcher, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Because I didn't even know it was Donnie Wahlberg. Until
I did know
Step by
that
Step.
one. I did know that he
I
played
didn't know. I
it's-
knew that before, but I didn't know that when I watched it the first time. That it was Donnie Wahlberg.
I did know that one.
I
I
didn't.
did know that one.
And then I watched it a few more times, and I'm like, and then I see his name at the end credits. Like, that is not Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. Anyway, let's move on and get into what everybody's been watching this week.
No,
What the hell have you been watching?
no, it's not it.
Okay,
No?
It
Madison.
sucks.
Madison, what'd you watch this week?
Honestly, I watched a lot of Ninja Turtles. I watched the one from 2013, because it's on Netflix right now, and I remember seeing it on Nickelodeon when I was a kid. So I watched some of that. And then yesterday, watched a little bit of the one from, is it from the 80s?
Yeah.
The one from the 80s. And I watched a little bit of Supernatural. I didn't watch a lot, I will admit, since we last spoke. I did get to season 12 and past that. I'm almost to season 13, but it's getting a little slow, so I'm getting a little slow with it. And
Right?
that and Cass hasn't been in a few episodes, and he's my favorite character, and he's the main reason why I watched the whole show, so.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, thank you. Him and Dean, but Dean's character's been slacking too, so. Anyways, what else did I watch? Did we watch any movies? Oh, I watched Shrek with my friends.
Can't go wrong with that.
I was the only one that was paying attention to it. Yeah. And I think I watched something else, but I can't remember what it is. I watched The Babadook. Watched The Babadook.
Is that it?
What do you guys feel about that movie? I want to know.
I don't mind it. I don't mind
liked
that
it.
movie. Yeah, Crystal hates it. But I think she hates it because it scared her.
I know. I thought
I
about.
thought it was
I thought
genuinely good.
Yeah.
Like, not just for the under message, but it was genuinely as creepy. Like, it was good.
I agree.
I was gonna hide under Crystal's bed and hide a speaker in her.
Babadook.
Yeah. And then like
Did you
start
guys ever
pounding
see-
on the bottom of her bed, but then I realized that you guys don't have it under the bed.
She hates it when I do that shit. She's like, stop!
Did you guys ever see that picture? It was a guy that posted a picture of himself, and he was like, here's a throwback to the time that I went to an adult Halloween party. And I went to an adult Halloween party dressed as the Babadook, and it was more of a just drink wine and chill kind of vibe. And he got there, he was the only one dressed up. He's full on Babadook. Everybody else is sitting there, no costume. He even had contacts in for his eyes to glow.
Oh my god,
you can
dude.
see,
He
you
went
can see
all out.
Yeah, you can see his eyes even glowing and everything. And like, so his one buddy takes a picture and he's like,
He said throwback.
yeah.
That's a good Halloween costume, though.
It was yeah,
Oh,
it was
dude.
funny.
I watched. I didn't watch much this week. I watched. I did watch a couple of episodes of Ninja Turtles with her, and then I watched. Me and Jackson are still watching Dragon Ball, and it still is just as perverted. It's not getting any better. No, not yet. Anyway.
How many
It
episodes are
gets
you in?
better the more you get into
I
it.
think the farther into the series you get, it gets less of that. But like even Chi-Chi is like the same age as Goku, and she's running around in like a fucking 2-piece the whole show. I'm like, she's like a 5-year-old little girl, and she's got like cleavage. Why does she have cleavage? She is 5 years old or something like that in this show, and she's got cleavage, and she's running around in a 2-piece.
She's 4.
4, whatever.
That's
not
worse.
better.
Her and Goku.
Yeah,
are
we're
both 4.
going in the wrong direction.
And like, well, even like they show up at Master Roshi's island, and they get off the flying Nimbus, just him and Chi-Chi, and instantly I'm like, oh crap, please don't get weird. And he gets off, and he's like, he like being all perverted. And he runs up to her, and he's like, is this the girl you were with earlier? Because if so, she got a lot younger. And I was like, please. And he's like, oh no, this is Chi-Chi. He's like, oh, okay. And it doesn't go any farther. And I'm like, oh, thank God. 'Cause I would have shut that shit off and been like, who's this little 4-year-old you got with you? You know what I mean? Like,
Isn't she sweet? No,
Yeah.
we're done.
She sweet?
yeah. Like, that's where I would shut it off. But it didn't go there. I was happy about that. It's still weird.
You're
that
just
he's an
on the edge
old
of your
man.
seat the whole time watching this, aren't you? You're
Dude, you thought he was bad
Yeah.
in Dragon Ball Z? He's horrible in this show.
He is. He's terrible. And, like, it's bad enough that he's an old man running around, like, wanting to see a 16-year-old naked. Because Chi-Chi, or not Chi-Chi, but Bulma in the show is 16, and, like, she's full frontal to him. Like, here you go, see it all. Give me your Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? It's just...
He wants to give her
like,
his Dragon
Bulma's
Ball.
a borderline
Yeah,
prostitute in
dragging
this fucking
balls
show.
across there.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Bulma's pretty much like a borderline 16-year-old prostitute. So, like, she's just showing her shit to everybody if it means getting a Dragon Ball. So, Bulma's a hoe.
I thought we already knew that.
Yeah. Anyway, that
Why do you think she went for Vegeta?
She jumped all over Vegeta's dick, dude. All over it.
She was quick about it too. She was like, "Here, put on this pink shirt." Like,
I just love that scene where he's like, "Servant woman, bring me a drying towel." It's so fucking funny.
he comes out, he goes, "Men in pink, how bizarre."
How bizarre. It's funny. You'd have to see it.
You want to watch it?
No.
You're
Oh.
missing
I watched
out.
all of Dragon
Come
Ball
on,
Z.
Karen, please. Dragon
No.
Ball Z.
It only
Fuck
take you
no.
6 months.
Fuck all
if
of
you
you
watch
so
it
hard.
every night like me and Dad did.
Fuck all of you so hard. I watched all of Dragon Ball Z and I fucking
Can
hated
you at
every
least
minute
get
of it.
to past the Frieza part?
No. Fuck Frieza. That Frieza saga almost killed me the first time. Yeah, fuck that.
I love
I
Frieza.
like that. I like that.
All right, anyway, I
It
also
almost
watched...
killed me the first time. I'm not watching it again.
I also watched...
Not even the Cell Saga.
they're all good.
Do you want me to die?
Except for the Boo Saga. The Boo Saga wasn't that good.
Well, that's because his voice gets annoying after a
Yeah,
while.
it really does. We watched what fucking movie did we just? Hitman on Netflix. That one with Glenn Powell. That's getting like all these great reviews and that. I can see why. It's a good movie. I thought there'd be action. There was no action in this.
The way you were describing it, I was like, you don't see the appeal? Like, that's the way it looked.
It was okay. I mean, we watched it and we were kind of disappointed by the end of it because I was under the impression that there'd be some action.
Me too.
there was
I get it.
no
There's stuff
action.
that I watch that people are like, this is amazing, and I don't get it.
I mean, it was okay. It wasn't like it's. I think Rotten Tomatoes has it at like a 97%. I'm like, I don't see that, but okay. I don't know why it's at 97%.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. It's got an original. It's got a good concept, and it's kind of like the end where you're like, all right, I didn't really see that coming. So it did have a good loop at the end. I'm not saying it's bad. It is a good movie. It is worth watching. It's just, it's funny too, I guess. And Glenn Powell is one of those actors that's coming up that to be like a great actor because he plays multiple types of hitmen throughout the movie. And he does a good job with a lot of their accents and acting different ways and stuff like that. So it's good. It's good.
You know what? I'm waiting to like watch a movie with that one person that is into it the whole time. And you're like, okay, cool, finally a movie watching buddy. And then you get done watching and they're like, hold on, let me get on Rotten Tomatoes and review this. That's like...
I've never done that.
No, because I have the attitude
oh,
that,
wow, that's
like,
amazing. I'm so
I don't-
happy for
I
you.
guess, like, this is one thing because I kind of feel like this is ours. And we just put it out there. Whoever wants to watch it can.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't need to, it's kind of like Facebook, right? Like, I don't need to go out there and give my
Opinion.
everything to, like, nobody gives a shit about what I have to say.
no.
Like, and if they do, then they'll come and look at my shit. Like, otherwise they don't care. Like,
Yeah,
I don't,
you wanna hear our opinion.
I don't
on
need
something.
to go to Rotten Tomatoes because that's a place where, like, you're going there to give your opinion. Like,
And your opinion actually does affect what people see in that movie. Like, people have become solely dependent on a Rotten Tomatoes score.
yeah.
Don't get us wrong, we do the Rotten Tomatoes segment on here, but we do it in order to kind of pick at it, make fun of it, and things like that. We don't take any of that shit seriously.
That's why we do
Yeah.
our ratings first
Yeah.
and then Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, because we don't want that to even influence us, because that's bullshit, really.
Yeah, because if we did this because we cared about, like, how many views or how much people cared about our opinion, then we'd probably be pretty hurt. But, like, I do this because it's fun and I
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like,
That's why we do movies that we like,
yeah,
for the most part, anyway.
yeah.
Well, that's not true, because there are some movies we do that we don't like.
We do movies that we all like, and that also includes doing movies that you don't like, because sometimes I like a movie that you don't like, or you like a movie that I
Yeah.
don't like, but we all watch it
Avatar.
because that's the point. That is what we do. And we all make compromises.
Avatar. That movie was dog shit.
You won't stop. I let it go
was.
because
It's
we made a
horrible.
deal. It's over.
I had to sit through 3 hours.
You
of
guys
bullshit.
made a deal.
We made a
can
deal.
still dog
It's
on
over.
it.
It's all
Well,
over.
you didn't have to sit through it, Jeremiah. You could have walked away.
I'm watching it.
He still watched it though, so he still gets the right to
He's
dog
my
on
moral
it.
support.
But he still watches, so he still gets the right to dog on it.
I guess, yeah. Get on Rotten Tomatoes and give your score there.
Jeremiah's like, you know what?
I will.
I will.
I have a tomato.
He's gonna get on there like, Joseph, this movie is dog shit.
Like directly at you,
Yeah.
at Joseph Kramer.
Dog shit.
Dog shit. All right, what did you guys watch?
Oh, I forgot
Yeah, we're still
where
doing what you watched.
Watched a little bit of Family Guy, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow 2. Boy, that was dog shit.
Oh my god.
Like Avatar dog shit?
I'd say it was worse because it wasn't even pretty.
It wasn't even pretty.
Nah, it was a direct sequel from the guy who wrote the original, like,
And the original was
Almost
a
50
TV
years
movie
later.
from like the 90s, and it
That
wasn't.
was
It was
like-
decent.
it was in the 80s.
Oh, was it? I thought it was the 90s.
That was like 81.
The TV movie was decent. This was an actual like full-on
It was like
production.
45 years later, this
And it
fucking
was-
dude that wrote the original, I think, decided he needed to make a fucking sequel to something that was okay. Like,
That's weird,
It
yeah.
Yeah.
was awful. Dog shit.
She's like, do not recommend.
Yeah.
Cut off.
And then these were Jack's 2 picks: Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Joe
Because
Dirt.
that movie came out, or that game.
Yeah, he's always like Killer Clown. He'll probably
Right.
he
he
watches
watched
that
it
probably.
the fucking day before we fucking watched
He
it.
watched it the day before, once with us, and then again with Abby.
Okay.
He gets on these kicks with that movie, like where he'll watch it all the time, and then he'll let it go for a while, and then he'll get back into it. He loves that movie.
That's cool, though.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
he loves that. Like Shorty, and he probably could tell you everything about behind the scenes. He really could. He could tell you just about anything about that movie, behind the scenes of the movie production. Joe Dirt, you want to watch that, and then The Predator, Pig, Raccoon Valley, and Switch. That's it.
We didn't like Pig.
Are we watching
Fuck
all
no.
of the Predator movies until we
Oh
get
my
to
God.
Prey?
Like, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Right.
This dude going around, where's my fucking pig?
And then he finds the pig and he does nothing about it.
Are we watching all of the Predator movies until we get to Prey?
Yeah, we're gonna watch all the Predator.
Because I want to watch Prey.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad.
What?
The Predator.
The Predator.
I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was entertaining
Which
at the
one was
very
it?
least.
The one that you said that was total
The
dog
one that
shit.
was wrote and directed by Shane Black.
Yeah.
I just didn't care for it. I didn't
It
like
wasn't
it.
No, that's fine.
I
I
mean,
thought it was entertaining. At
yeah,
the
I
very
had a
entertaining.
solid fucking cast. I know that. It
Oh,
just,
yeah.
I just didn't like the movie or the premise of it or anything. I just thought it was kind of a dumb fucking movie. That and there's another big ass like
there
there's
like
an
a
even
super
bigger
predator?
predator now. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Super Predator.
Yeah, I'm like,
whatever
come
they
on,
call
man.
it.
I agree that was dumb, but like everything else, like I thought it was entertaining. I thought there was decent like humor mixed with the action.
I love Tom Jane and Keegan
I like
Michael Key.
I like their ragtag.
Yeah, I like that. I like those two
Yeah.
together, and then I loved Olivia Munn because Olivia Munn,
Mhm.
and then like the cast is great. I just
Yeah.
didn't care for the movie itself.
I like the ragtag group. I like the comedy mixed in with the action. And I generally found it entertaining.
Which one is that?
The Predator.
Predator.
the Predators
Is that the
or
second
the
one?
Predator or whatever.
Yeah, it was the
And
last
that-
one.
that
The
scene
fourth one.
That scene that Matt was talking about.
Praise the fifth one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's, uh,
that scene that Matt was talking about cracked me up because I remember Matt talking about it when they got off the bus. And he looks over and he's like, "Get to the choppers," and it's the motorcycles.
I'll get to the choppers.
Arnold?
I don't know. What
No,
Yeah.
in the original he says, "Get to the chopper," and he's talking
Arnold was
about a
reprisal
helicopter.
role. That's the
And
one
in
he's
the
reprised.
Predator, they get off this bus, and the guy's like, "Get to the chopper," and you think that he's talking about a helicopter,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they all come riding by on motorcycles.
Oh my
Pretty
god.
funny. All right, so is that all you guys watched?
Yeah, that was it. That's all we got.
All right, let's move on. Let's get into the fucking movie.
Woo woo.
Let's talk about the movie.
Oh, this week we watched Saw 2.
Ooh.
Yay! 2 down, 1 to go.
Oh.
The second one.
Karen, you got a synopsis for
Yeah, I
us?
can't do it to music though. The chilling and relentless.
Oh.
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 The chilling and relentless Jigsaw killer returns to terrorize the city once again When a gruesome murder victim emerges with unmistakable traces of Jigsaw's sinister methods, Detective Eric Matthews is thrust into a high-stakes investigation. To his surprise, apprehending Jigsaw seems almost too easy, but when he doesn't realize is that being caught is merely another piece of Jigsaw's intricate puzzle. Rated R, an hour 33 minutes. Tobin Bell, obviously, as Jigsaw. John Kramer. Donnie Wahlberg is Eric Matthews. Shawnee Smith is Amanda Young.
Oh yeah, that's her name.
Eric Knudsen as Daniel Matthews. Frankie G as Xavier Chavez.
You said what?
Frankie G?
No, before that.
Xavier Chavez?
No, you sound like you said Knudsen.
That's what it says. It's K-N. So what do you say, Knud?
Knud?
No, let me see it.
It's Eric Knudsen. Knud? Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Oh, that's his kid. The dude that played his kid.
Okay.
I'm saying, I thought she was talking about fucking Donnie Wahlberg. I'm like, what?
No.
Anywho.
Glenn Plummer is Jonas Singer. I'm done after that.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want?
Is that Kramer spelled with a K or a C?
It's with a K.
Okay.
Okay.
Imposters.
All right.
Imposters.
I had a 5th grade teacher named Mr. Kramer, and his was spelled with a K.
Imposters.
They're like, you guys are related. Shut the fuck up. We're not related, obviously.
Well, punched, I'll punch you.
All right. We got to do our, would you watch? Madison, why don't you start us off? Would you watch, would you recommend?
No. And no.
Okay. She obviously didn't like it.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. I'm going to say, if you're into it, watch it. Am I going to watch it again anytime soon? No, I'm not. But if you're looking like to finish this franchise, you obviously got to watch the second one. And this is definitely a franchise that a lot of people go to if they're looking for a franchise to watch through. You know what I mean? Like
If
with
they
horror
wanna sit
movies.
down for a while.
It's this is officially up there with like Nightmare on Elm Street, fucking Friday the 13th. You know.
Well, and let's
Halloween.
be real. Out of all of the ones that have come out since the '80s, it's probably one of the better ones.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. It's got some.
Like, I can't think of any other boogeyman that is compared to any of the other '80s slashers
Right.
that,
Jigsaw.
that sticks out there, like with Jason, Freddy, Chucky,
Like, no,
Michael.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jigsaw fits right in there.
Right. I agree. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the plot here. Heavy spoilers, all that good shit you guys know.
And where did you collect this information from?
What information?
The plot synopsis. Or
Fandom.
The plot.
I always get all my plots. I usually get all my plots from fandom, all of them.
Did we say earlier to check out?
Yes,
We did.
I did.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
I got this.
It was when you were worried about your ice.
Yeah. All right.
No, that was after. That had to have been after.
Well, it was in that time frame.
Oh, okay.
All right, Saw 2. Michael Marks, really? Okay. A police informant wakes up with a spike-filled mask locked around his neck. A videotape informs him that he has 1 minute to retrieve a key hidden behind his right eye. Michael, however, cannot bring himself to withstand the pain of cutting out the key with a scalpel and is killed when the mask closes on his head. Fuck you, I'm eyeless now. I'm cutting that shit out. Just saying.
Not
I
me,
think 1 minute isn't enough time.
I don't think 1 minute's enough time either. And sometimes his fucking traps are like that.
I agree.
No, he
But-
would have been fine.
No, I'm saying I don't think that there's enough that's enough time for a person to do it.
No, he would have been
No,
fine.
no. I'm not saying logistically. I'm not saying you don't have enough time to do it. You have enough time. I'm saying a normal person, if you start to cut yourself, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna have a few stops and starts. I don't care how determined you are, how much you want to
I
live.
think 3 minutes is enough time.
3 minutes, sure, but a minute.
No, he was fine until he started freaking out.
I agree. I
Like,
agree.
if he would have just stood there and just fucking stood there.
But you're telling me if you're in that situation, you aren't gonna stand up and start like looking around and.
Well, if you see that it's behind there and then there's a scalpel there.
He didn't see that though until he moved. He had to get up and get to the toolbox. And he couldn't have done that until he pulled that thing out of the wall.
He didn't pull that out until he started freaking out.
Yeah, he started freaking out, walling around, and then he like.
But
Yeah,
he
because
couldn't-
he started cutting it out, didn't he? And then he started
No.
freaking out.
No, he didn't start cutting it out until afterwards.
He couldn't have reached the toolbox if he didn't pull that thing out of the wall.
But
My
he
point
should have
is,
been
though-
more calm and collected.
But my point is, though, even still, even if you're calm, cool, collected, and you are determined to live,
Mm-hmm.
1 minute isn't enough time.
I agree.
No, I understand that.
I don't care. Even if you are determined to live, even if you are like
Yeah.
Joseph, I'm eyeless now, you're not going to be able to be like, yep.
I agree.
and
That's not enough time.
No.
Oh.
I agree. Some of his traps are not, they're not set up for the guy to live. I'm sorry. They're just not.
When Michael's corpse is found shortly afterward. I love that debate. We are not even 2 minutes into this. It's great. We're gonna have more of that. I promise.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I thought he was fine up until he started freaking out because he started cutting, and then he was like, "Fuck this," and then he just started like.
no, what you're thinking of was when he was like touching and like it hurt. But yeah, he did freak out, but he could not have reached that toolbox. Either way, he was screwed because he could not have reached the toolbox with the scalpel in it until he pulled that pin.
All right. When Michael's corpse is found shortly afterward, his employer, Detective Eric Matthews, is called to the crime scene by Detective Allison Carey. The latter discovered a message left for him by the Jigsaw Killer. Initially reluctant to become involved in the investigation, Eric quickly manages to locate Jigsaw's hideout at the abandoned Wilson steel plant and therefore decides to join Carey and Sergeant Danielle Rigg as they... Daniel Rigg.
Yeah, it's a dude.
Riggs.
I know.
Yeah. As they raid the plant with a SWAT team. They find the killer, John Kramer, severely weakened by his cancer disease.
Hold on a second, though. How stupid were those cops? You walk in, you know this guy sets traps. That's literally his whole
I know.
shtick.
I know.
They step on a step and the light comes on like he's being inviting. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you step on a step and my porch light
that's my
comes on.
thing,
Come
too.
on in.
Like, they've been hunting this fucking killer for how long? They know that he booby traps his buildings. They know
you
this.
think the light comes on and he's being
They
inviting?
did it in the first one. He booby trapped a building in the first one. What kind of SWAT team's just going to storm in, guns a-blazing? Like, you know.
And then
Well,
that
yeah,
doll
my thing is,
rolls
though, is like the light came on and they're like,
Billy showed
oh.
up on
Yeah.
the fucking bike at the top of the stairs.
Yeah,
They're
and then
like,
he goes ahead
"Okay,
and takes
let's go."
another step.
Yeah, the light comes on
Well,
and they're
that's a
like, oh,
go-ahead,
good, this is a
guys.
good sign.
Yeah.
No,
And
the
then
light
he's
came
like,
on.
Look, Billy wants us to come up.
And then he's like the one guy from SpongeBob. He's like, oh, my legs. The one that's always getting thrown. It's like, yeah, your legs.
That's what I thought, too, whenever they
The
stormed the
doy.
fucking place. I'm like,
Doy,
you knew that was
yeah.
going to happen, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
at least get a dummy and, like, throw it. Like, throw it
Right.
at the stair. Do something. Don't just
Or like bring a
storm.
stick to test things out. Like, is there mines here? Oh.
Oh, that could have been my legs. That's
I had a few
terrible.
issues
Wow.
with this movie.
Dude, there were moments where I turned it down and I was like, now why did he do that?
Yeah.
Well, and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
a lot of these movies, right, like that scene in particular, right? So it's not necessarily for viewership like us, right, where we're going to be like, that's dumb. Why would you do that? It's more for that, this is torture porn, right, at its
Yeah.
finest. So a lot of that stuff that we're watching, it's not for the plot. We know, and they know that we're smarter than that. They know that we're going to be like, why the fuck would they do that? It's more for that, oh, fuck, that would hurt. Or,
Yeah, right.
But
That's
I'm
what
too
it's
busy
for.
going, why'd you do that?
Mhm. We are.
We got a few moments
But there
of
are
that.
a lot of people out there that love this kind of movie. Like they love to see that, and that's their creepy factor.
Right.
That's literally their, oh God, you know, like
Mine's dolls. I can't stand it whenever dolls move. I don't like dolls.
just watch Dead Silence.
Right.
That's whenever I watch Annabelle, that one doll. She would like move her head and I'd be like, ugh.
No, thank
or
you.
or like no, like poltergeist. Whenever you see them, like that one part in The Conjuring where she's up on the wardrobe. I can't tell you how bad that scared me the first time I watched it, and I have a wardrobe up in my room, so like now I have to keep stuff up there or else I get paranoid. Ever since I've seen that movie, there's been stuff on top of my wardrobe.
Before it was empty, she go to her room. Fuck you.
Okay. However, as the officers are about to arrest him, John reveals that he has already planned his apprehension and shows them a set of surveillance monitors. On these monitors, Eric and the others witness 8 people, including Daniel Matthews, Eric's son, and Amanda Young, the only known survivor of one of John's games, who are all trapped inside a big house. While trapped there, they breathe in a deadly nerve agent and have 2 hours to find syringes with the antidote hidden all around the house. John assures Eric that he will see his son again in a safe and secure state if he agrees to talk with him alone until the 2 hours are over. Pressured by Carrie, Eric reluctantly agrees to John's ultimatum to buy time for a tech team to arrive and track the signal from the video feed. So my issue with this is one thing. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, he doesn't actually murder anybody." He poisoned them.
Mm-hmm.
He poisoned them. Like,
Well,
that's not second degree
Amanda
murder.
did.
That is fucking manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's I think that's the definition they're going with, but I agree with you. He is directly responsible for their death, which is the definition of a killer, correct?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the definition of a killer is that you are responsible for someone's death. However, the way that they're trying to slice it, or the way that it's like in our judicial system, it is sort of I can't think of the term, but it is literally like pieced, right? So you've got first degree, second degree manslaughter, justifiable homicide, blah blah blah. You've got all these degrees of, homicide.
Yeah.
So yeah, manslaughter. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So he's not directly responsible. He's not first degree, even though he planned it. It's literally planned, which is the definition of first degree murder. But he never laid a hand on him.
That's just bullshit.
Isn't that bullshit?
Yeah.
It is bullshit.
Yeah, because he also got other people to kidnap for him.
Right. So you've got first degree, which shows planning, calculated. He did all of it, but he never laid a hand on him. So you can't get him for first degree. There's all of these little nuances that, when you go, like, by our laws, and you say, oh, he's a serial killer. Well, no, he's not by definition, but he is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're
But
right.
if you poison a whole, like, let's say if you were to put poison gas in the vents of, like, the White House, they'd get you for first degree, wouldn't they?
manslaughter.
Manslaughter?
voluntary manslaughter. I mean, there's a million different ways that they can slice it. They can get you in jail for the rest of your life by tacking on, like, all kinds of things that you would qualify for. But no, they can't get you for first degree.
Huh.
Okay. The 8 victims in the house: Daniel, Amanda, Xavier Chavez, Jonah Seeger, Addison Corday. I don't know why they need all their names. Laura Hunter, Obi Tate, and Gus Colyard. Find an audio tape left by Jigsaw informing them about the nerve gas and the antidotes. One antidote is locked in a safe. According to Jigsaw's message, the combination required to open is in the back of their minds, while the correct order of the numbers is found over the rainbow. What does that mean, over the rainbow?
I don't remember. Did they ever explain that part?
They never explain it.
No, because he just freaked out and started cutting them all off.
Yeah, they never explain what the order of the numbers is. What's over the rainbow? Like, is it a Wizard of Oz reference, or?
I
I
don't know.
don't think so.
Because the numbers were 2, 16, 11, 7,
Seven.
and 8.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then
And
it never showed
they
what
never
his-
explain what.
Maybe they did.
Yeah,
and
and
I
they never
missed it.
show what his number is. I don't think they ever explain it, because we even watched the unrated version.
Oh, we did
Wow.
too. I think.
And then we also don't know what the kid's number is.
He's hinting that the numbers are in the order of the colors of the rainbow. Because they were
Oh.
all different.
Oh, colors.
They're all
They
different
were all
colors.
different colors.
Yeah.
And you do, the red, orange, yellow, the
Whatever
Green.
color,
orangey
green,
bib or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
In that was the number.
Right.
That was where you put the number. So
I got you.
the red one, the orange.
They
one,
never
the
explained
yellow
that, but
one.
yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah.
I guess it would have just been a obvious or
Kinda,
something.
I
Like,
guess
if
so,
they had
yeah.
figured it out, it would have been like
Yeah,
obvious.
because of the colors on them.
Yeah.
But he wasn't even trying to memorize their colors. He was just trying to remember numbers.
Mm-hmm. But he
So-
wasn't exactly the brightest crayon in the box.
No.
He was just
Crayon because of the colors.
he was a dick.
He's a dick. The color of flesh.
Oh my god.
Anyway, where was I? Yep.
Yep.
However, Xavier refuses to heed the warning and uses the key, causing Gus to be shot by a booby trap connected to the lock. Following his death, the group makes their way to the basement where another tape reveals that Obi helped Jigsaw abduct the others. Pressured by Xavier, Obi crawls into a furnace to retrieve 2 antidotes, but inadvertently activates the oven and is burned alive. I want to talk about that because whenever he pulls that antidote, he doesn't just pull the antidote. He grabs the whole fucking chain and pulls it like an idiot.
No,
Like,
I looked at that.
duh.
I was like, why would you even crawl in there? You know you're in trouble.
Well,
you know the place is booby trapped. Why
didn't-
would you go into the oven?
Didn't he say something to the fact? I don't remember what it was exactly, but they actually showed it. Like he got in there, he could have just turned the fucking gas off.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
All he had
Yeah.
to do was reach his hand over.
Yeah,
Like
And-
you're gonna die,
You're
right?
burning
I'm sorry, I'm
anyways.
burning anyway. I'm reaching my hand over. I'm
Right.
fucking
Yeah.
turning off the
'cause
gas.
I think he said something, and then he just kind of like went in there or whatever.
And then it even showed the valve on the
yeah,
side.
yeah, he
that
could have
would
just
shut
turned off
it
the
off,
gas,
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's the same. You'll get to it.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and they had the valves outside too. They want those fucking antidotes so bad. Help him. Turn the shit off.
Yeah, right.
Mhm. He's like, oh, I could have done it before I grabbed them. You can do it right now. Right now is a great time
Would
to
it
do it.
actually? Did they have enough antidote for everybody to get out?
Mm-hmm.
We-
Yeah,
So
that
then
was
when they-
actually in
when they-
trivia. There was actually an extra in the house, but you don't see all of them because, like,
Wouldn't it
you
be,
don't think about it. Like, the tapes we only saw like what 3 or 4 tapes.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there was a tape for
So
everyone.
there was a tape for everybody.
Yeah, but wouldn't that make it involuntary? Because he never meant for him to die. He gave him the means.
Well, that's the rub, isn't it? That's always what he says. He says that he always gives them the means to get out, which okay, sure, in the main movie or whatever. But like I said, in the first one, I don't think a minute is long enough. I don't care.
Right.
Just don't. I don't think all of his traps are set up for you to have the means. Like, okay, the hand one. If you put your hands up there and
We'll
you
get
pull
to
your
that.
Yeah,
hands
that's
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
what I was getting at.
As the remaining prisoners search the rest of the house, Jonas leads them to another room upstairs. Another tape tells them that one antidote is hidden behind a steel door, and the key to open it
out.
lies
Oh wait, though.
in a pit filled with thousands of used syringes.
Did we skip a bunch?
Ooh, that one. That is nightmare inducing.
Yeah, it's nasty. No,
Where did he get that many used syringes?
He's buying them in bulk.
Well, you go to
They weren't necessarily used syringes. I mean, you could just
they were
fucking.
just syringes? Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
it's
and
just
not
a-
to mention, hospitals, they throw that
Yeah,
shit
they throw
away.
the fuckers out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're supposed to be properly disposed of, but yeah.
You
I
could
don't
pay.
I was
He
gonna
could
say,
pay.
what was that guy's deal though?
He was a dick.
He was a dick.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of the situations that he puts himself in where he essentially sacrifices another person, if he would help, he would probably have survived.
Well, that was
Uh-huh.
why the door got locked because it said literally he had to do it, and then when he threw her in, that's why the door locked. Because
That was his challenge.
It was
Yeah.
his challenge, and since he didn't do it, the door locked. They did it in time. Remember?
No, they didn't.
No, they
had to
still
put
had
the-
3 seconds.
Yeah, but they had to put the key in, and it didn't
Yeah.
work.
he
didn't
did
get
put it in. He still had 2 seconds
He got
when he
it
put
in,
it in.
as it turned to 0 and it locked. He didn't get it in time. He
It
didn't
still
get in
wouldn't have
time.
worked.
Yeah, I doubt it would have worked either because it did say for him to specifically go in.
It was his challenge. It wouldn't have worked.
Shit. Where was I?
Pit of needles. Ugh.
Yeah. Fuck that shit so hard.
I hate that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like needles, so.
I don't think even if you like needles, you could like that.
Yeah,
scene.
No.
Fair point.
Okay, it says,
I mean, I don't mind shots.
this
but...
test is meant for Xavier, who is a drug dealer. However, he throws Amanda into the needles instead of accomplishing his task on his own. Although she manages to obtain the key, Xavier fails to unlock the door in time and subsequently abandons the group out of frustration. Meanwhile, John passes the 2 hours with an idle and cryptic conversation with an increasingly frustrated Eric. He eventually talks about his cancer diagnosis and failed suicide attempt, which led to his new esteem for his life. In his remaining time of life, John hopes to inspire the same appreciation in others by testing their will to survive. As he explains his moral ideas to Eric, the tech team finally arrives.
All right, son, start hooking stuff up. We got to figure this out.
Yeah. At Carrie's
Just
suggestion.
don't look at the monitors, all right, kid?
At Carrie's suggestion, Eric tries to provoke John by destroying several documents, blueprints, and sketches around the area. John, however, is barely impressed and reveals that all the victims in the house, except for Daniel, have all been innocently framed by Eric for various crimes they did not commit. Furthermore, he warns him that Daniel's life will be endangered once the other prisoners learn about his connection to Eric. In the house, Xavier returns to the first room where they initially woke up and discovers a colored number on the back of Gus's neck. He realizes that every prisoner has one number of the safe's combination written on their neck.
And then he kills the black guy.
Desperate to get his hands on the antidote, he kills Jonas in a fight and begins to hunt down the others. Meanwhile, Laura collapses and eventually succumbs to the nerve agent. That girl did absolutely nothing except for solve puzzles. Like, she was the one discovering shit, even though she was, like, weak as fuck and crying the whole time. But she was annoying.
That's the Seventh Heaven girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's where I know her from, Seventh Heaven. I was like, I know that fucking girl. Where?
Yeah, that's what I said to her. I asked her, I said, is that Seventh Heaven girl? She's like, I never watched it. I had to look it up. That was her.
Additionally, Amanda and Addison abandon Daniel after finding a photo of him and Eric. Amanda, however, returns after finding Jonas's corpse. As they try to find a place to hide from Xavier, Addison discovers a room with another antidote locked inside a glass box.
She just waltzes right into that room.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they discover that room earlier while they were checking for all the locked doors?
I don't know.
It might have been locked at the time.
Maybe. However, as she puts her hands through the two holes in the box to grab it, her arms are trapped in the razor blade lined sockets. Moments later, Xavier finds her but leaves her to die after reading her number.
Yeah, that was one of the moments whenever I looked over at
It's
Dad.
actually one of the dumbest fucking traps in this entire series. She sticks her arm up there, and instead of being like, oh, okay, I need to get my hand out,
Yeah.
she sticks her arm up through the other one like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, panicked or not, dude, like, that's common sense.
Yeah.
That's
And-
one thing that you're like, no.
Yeah, and the thing is like I made the comment that would be one that you that he would have designed, and there'd be no way out because even if you pull your hands, you're gonna die. Actually, the point of that trap I found out in trivia, but there actually is a key in that room. So when she walks in, and I forgot about this until I was when we were talking about it. If you look, when she walks in, there's actually a small padlock at the bottom of that box.
Yeah.
And there's a table right next to the door. And if she'd have looked, there was a key on the table. So all she had to do was reach over, grab the key, hit the padlock, and then she could have slid
See,
the
the
antidote
thing
off.
about this movie is I don't care how panicked you are going to have some common sense. You're not going to walk up to that box, see it clearly, You're gonna see that padlock was on the same side as her
Well,
face. And
that's
stick
why-
your hands through those fucking razor blades.
That's why I
You're
think
not
the
an idiot.
timing. That's why I think the timing of that door being unlocked was when it was. You're delirious at that point because of the
I don't care
the
how
gas.
fucking. Do you agree? How delirious do you have to be to not fucking realize? Okay, this arm's stuck. Let's stick my other one in there.
I'm not saying that by that point.
And
you know,
not to
you
mention,
shouldn't
she
put
grabs it
No,
like
I'm not
this,
saying.
and then, like,
I'm not saying you stick your
but-
other arm up in there. I'm just saying that when you walk in and you see that antidote, do you look at the padlock or do you see that padlock even? You know, you might just
After
stick
all
your
the
arm
traps
up
that
in
we've
there.
been through, yeah, there's obviously
You
some
scan
shit.
the fucking room.
Yeah,
I'm not saying-
Yeah,
Walk
you
through
scan
there,
the
you
fucking.
scan
All
the
right, what do
fucking
I
room,
need to do
make
to
sure-
get that out of there?
I'm
Yeah.
not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying that her reaction to sticking her hand up in there, I'm not saying necessarily somebody wouldn't do.
Okay, maybe
But
her
sticking-
first one, like,
yeah,
oh
that's,
shit.
That's what I'm saying. Her first
But the second one, you're
yeah,
not doing it a
not
second
not
time.
the second
you know what I
time,
mean?
not the second time. But I'm saying the first one, I can forgive. I can let that one go. But the second one, yeah, that's dumb.
I also add this. We never saw her die.
We
No,
didn't-
but
yeah.
you know she did. If
Her wrist
if
definitely
her
bled
wrist
out.
didn't kill her, that gas did. She's gone.
It's not confirmed.
She's
Okay,
still there.
Madison.
She's just still there.
There's
like,
10 of these
hanging
fucking
on.
movies.
Hello?
Hello?
Anybody
Hey.
there?
Apparently, I'm
hungry.
immune to that gas stuff.
Yeah, I survived. Hello.
Just touching that stuff, like it mixing with my blood, I'm alive.
All right.
Doors open, y'all.
Meanwhile, Laura collapses and eventually succumbs to the nerve agent. Additionally, Amanda and Addison abandon Daniel, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we already read this. Glass box. However, she puts her hands through the holes in the grab, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I think I already read that. Amanda and Daniel return to the first room and find a hidden tunnel, which leads them to the dilapidated bathroom from the first film, which still contains the severed foot of Dr. Lawrence Gordon and the decomposed bodies of Adam Stanheight and Zepp Hindle. Weakened by the gas, Daniel passes out moments before Xavier finds them. Amanda points out that he cannot read his number without her help, hoping to prevent Xavier from harming them. However, Xavier refuses her help and instead cuts off the skin from the back from his neck.
For
See, this is
whatever
one of those
reason.
things I'm like, why wouldn't you just be like, yeah, let's help each other out?
Because he's a dick.
I'm like, yeah, like even if it means, yeah, tell me my number, and then after that, kill her. Why would you cut off your skin?
Because he's a dick.
Like, you fucking moron. This is why you're a drug dealer and not a fucking lawyer.
Should have gone to college.
Yeah.
People wouldn't be dead.
As he cuts it
I
off.
wouldn't
Stay in
be
school,
dead.
kids.
Yeah, right. Exactly. After that, he approaches them to get their numbers, but is caught off guard by Daniel, who attacks him and slashes his throat with a hacksaw. Pretty good kill.
Yeah.
At the Wilson Steel plant, Eric brutally assaults John after witnessing Xavier's pursuit of Daniel and forces him to take him to the house. John agrees to do so, but demands to go there alone with Eric, which is another stupid fucking move. The latter agrees, and both men leave the building in a hidden elevator. At the same time, the tech team traces the video feed to another house. However, as Rigg and his men arrive, they realize they had merely watched a recording of the game the entire time, while the game itself had already been over before they raided Jigsaw's hideout. Just as they realize Jigsaw's deception, the time expires and a large safe opens at the Wilson Steel plant, revealing Daniel, who has been trapped inside the safe the entire time. What a fucking head scratcher, huh? Like, god damn it, he duped us.
Yeah, fucking he's the giant nutsack.
Unaware of this revelation, Eric arrives at
Well,
the actual
technically,
location.
he said that that he would be found safe
Mm-hmm.
and sound.
Yeah, Eric Matthews is a giant nutsack. All he had to do was sit there and talk to him.
That's true.
But let's be
No,
real.
he
if
had
our
to.
kid
He
was,
had to be a cop.
And actually solve something for once.
Fair
He
enough.
had to be a cop. He had to find evidence. He had to be observant. He had to listen. he
But-
had to pay attention. He had to find evidence and
Yeah,
clues.
because knowing Jigsaw,
That's all he
everything,
wanted.
every aspect of his plan was probably in that fucking room, where he was sitting there having the
If
conversation.
you paid
with him.
attention, there was actually that X painting was behind Jigsaw the entire time they were talking. The one that was in the house that she pointed out and said X marks the spot, and there was that picture. It was behind Jigsaw the entire time that they were talking.
There
if
were
he had
a
been
few
paying attention to any of it that they were talking, and that's not the only thing. I just happened
It's
to
funny
notice
because
that.
I knew the ending to this movie, but Madison didn't. But the scene where Amanda gets up at the beginning, where she's like, because she's knocked out and she gets up.
It's very reminiscent.
It's very reminiscent of Jigsaw from the first movie. He's wearing all blue, and he gets up, and she gets up the same way as he did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's that right there tells you who the main villain of this movie is, right there, right at the get.
Yep. But it's just all he wanted him to do. The whole point was that if you're a cop, you do your job, you'll both end up fine.
Right.
Right, but if you couldn't figure it out in time and Jack was in that situation, would you start freaking out?
If he well, first of all, the whole point, right, was that he had all these people that he put behind bars wrongfully, right? That's clue number one, right? So if you were ever a cop, ever, then you should be able to start putting some clues together. And if you can't,
she shouldn't be a cop.
then at that point, if you're a parent, all you care about is that your kid survived.
Yeah. All right. Unaware of this revelation, Eric arrives at the actual location of the game and enters the house alone. He eventually finds the bathroom, but is attacked and subdued by a pig-masked figure. He finds himself shackled. See, now this is... Okay, we'll get to this. He finds himself shackled and subdued by a pig-masked figure. He finds himself shackled by the ankle to a pipe upon waking up. An audio tape beside him reveals that Amanda Young became John's accomplice after surviving her game and merely pretended to be the victim in the house to observe the other prisoners. Furthermore, the tape tells him that Amanda will continue John's work after his death and that he is supposed to be Amanda's first test subject. As the recording ends, Amanda appears outside the bathroom and seals the door with the words "Game over," leaving Eric to die. The end. So if you notice whenever he's making his way through the house, you can see like the first thing you notice is like the black dude on the floor. Whenever he's shining his light on, you can see his hands are starting to decompose. You know what I mean? That's like one of the first signs. And then
You think he would have noticed that?
Yeah,
And
that's
that's the
the
whole
whole
point.
shit, and you're
They
like,
leave.
Yep.
They literally left him breadcrumbs
all the way
over the
through.
place.
Yeah,
If he was
he's got to be the world's worst detective.
That's the point.
You know, because he even walks up to the girl.
that's why he was on
who's
desk
dead
duty.
on. Yeah, he even walks up to the girl who's dead in the hallway and like covers his nose because she's all obviously starting to decompose and stinks. He's like, oh, I was like, yeah, dude, because like, duh.
It's been more than just 5 minutes since she's died.
Exactly. It's been obviously several days or whatever.
And that's
it
the
may have
point.
been.
You're not supposed to feel sorry for Eric Matthews
I don't.
at all.
Because he's an idiot.
He's a fucking moron.
Yeah. Well, not to mention he's crooked as shit.
Yeah. Well, for sure.
So like you're not supposed to feel sorry for him at all, and you don't, because at every turn you start to notice things like you know, like me, I noticed the X painting. You know, I didn't see it all the time, but every now and again, like he'd move a certain way or whatever, and I'm like, that, because I saw the X.
Right.
It's supposed to be in the house.
Yeah. So how can it be in the house if, you know?
Right.
Well, no, it's not going on, and I've seen it before, but you know, I'd forgotten. I hadn't seen it in a really long time.
But could he see what paintings were on the wall from the monitors, though?
Well, it's pretty obvious when they're all watching it so damn intently. You know, she said X marks the spot. They pick up, you know what I mean?
And they could hear,
And
right?
and obviously, if he's in his office there, and there's another picture that's got a giant X on it, I mean, start putting two and two together.
Something special's about that.
Yeah,
Something
start putting two
special
and
about
together is all I'm saying. Like, they left him every breadcrumb,
He was literally in the room where they made the plans.
They left him every aspect, every piece of evidence
And he started
to
ripping
solve
it
this
up.
case, and he didn't.
Because he was too enraged.
So this is literally like the one time where I will say without a shred of, you know, blah blah blah, whatever, hesitancy, whatever, that they did give him every opportunity to walk away and say, yeah, I figured this out, or I'm going to walk away from this because I know I beat your game.
Which one is it? Which one is it?
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I don't think you did.
I think that one's my favorite one. I don't know why. No words, points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
All right. Well, do you guys have anything else you want to cover?
No, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Get it, got it good.
There's a lot of things that I want to say about this movie, but I'm going to save it for my review. So, let's get into that. Actually, let's get into that fucking review.
Okay.
Let's run out this bitch.
All right. Well, let's start with. Obviously, we're going to start with Madison. What do you think of Saw 2?
Honestly, I don't know. I want to say it was better than I thought it would be, because you guys made it out to be like it was the worst movie in the world.
I didn't.
No, it's not. Okay. It's misleading because I just don't want to cover this whole fucking franchise. There's a lot of Saw movies.
Gave you an out.
I know, and I took it.
So
I'll trade one movie for fucking 7 of them.
That was why I thought it was a pretty sweet deal the first time.
I don't know. I can't bring myself to like it though, at all.
That is your prerogative.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the characters.
You're not
I think.
smart.
I don't think
Well, I
you're
think they
supposed
were
to.
all kind
Yeah.
of flat.
Except for
too.
the kid and the lady cop, or like the two.
Lady Cop was kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's Dizzy.
I was gonna say that's Dizzy. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, she's hot.
She's from Starship Troopers. She was awesome in Starship Troopers.
But
favorite.
You get to see her naked in that
Topless.
twice.
Oh yeah, wait, you just seen her again. You're right.
Anyways, all the characters were kind of flat though. You didn't know much about all of them. Like half of them, you didn't even know why they were thrown in jail.
You were supposed to, but runtime.
Gotcha.
They were all criminals set up by Eric. That's all you need to know.
But overall, at least it was shorter than the last one. Was 2 hours, right?
I
was-
don't remember.
About the same.
Yeah, I
wasn't
think
it?
it was.
Was
I think
it?
the run. I think the runtime for these are all about the
I think
same.
they're all about 2
Oh,
hours.
the first one felt really long though.
That's because
This
you
one
spent a
was-
lot of time in one room. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't
There was a
pretty
lot
much-
of there was a lot of
yeah.
talking. There was a lot of
Yeah.
dialogue, happening. So
So yeah, and this movie makes me feel really smart. I will add that
Mm.
because the other ones are
What?
so stupid.
What?
because the people are so stupid.
Sorry, I should have made that clearer.
I'm gonna stick both my arms up here, even though I can't get this one out.
Yeah, that part made me feel really, really smart. Like, oh,
Like I said, one arm I can
Okay.
forgive, but if you can't get one arm out, I'm not gonna stick my other one up
Right.
in
Yeah,
there.
like you deserve to die. We're just eliminating.
Like if you're
You
like
know?
delirious and sleepy, I can go okay.
oh,
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're
Oh, let me
eliminating
just
some
help
idiots
the
off the
other
food
arm
chain.
real
You know, like
quick.
get rid of the retards.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the
You know,
finger trap. You put your fingers
scan
in
the
there, and then
room,
you gotta use the other one
Make
to
sure
get it
that
out.
you don't have to
Duh.
fucking.
I think
put
of
your arms
all
up
of the
there.
traps in this entire series, that is the dumbest one. Not even the dumbest one, but like I'd say the easiest one to get. You know what I mean? And she just walks.
Yeah, you
Oh,
take her
shit.
hand, you take
Oh.
your
Then she
hand, and you
pulls the
start
fucking
kind of
syringe.
Yeah, and then she pulls the syringe like an idiot and just gets it everywhere. And then
That's when
she sticks the
started
second
freak-
one
yeah,
in
that's
there.
when
And I'm
she
like,
starts freaking out. It's like,
Like, how are you gonna do this? Then do this to help your other one. Like, how?
you stick one up in there, you can't get it out. Shit, pushing blades.
Yeah.
up,
That's what I'm
blades
saying.
up, fucking
Like
bring
the
'em down,
finger
and
trap.
fucking
It's like a finger
die of
trap. You
gas
put your hands in there, you gotta use your other fingers.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can forgive one in the delirium and in I can forgive one, but two. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I don't like that movie as much. I'll give it a 4.5.
I've got a lot of issues with this movie. Okay, so I don't like all the flashing, like the flashing from scene to scene. Like I hate that. It drives me fucking nuts. If I was epileptic, I'd have had a seizure. I don't like that. I think it's overdone. There's way too many like dun 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 dun, and then it's like slow motion stuff. It's like, ooh, big reveal, not a big reveal, whatever. A lot of that shit going on. I'm like, how stupid, and it drove me nuts watching this movie. And they do it a lot in this movie. I know they use it minimally throughout the series, but in this movie, I feel like they used it way too much. A lot of stupid fucking decisions in this movie. Trap's not as cool in this movie. Especially the thing. The syringes, fucking stupid. Does it suck? Yes, it sucks. That guy is a dick. But the guy going inside the furnace, stupid fucking move. You know. Why would you go in there? Just like the traps in this are just not, they're avoidable. You know what I mean? I feel like they're ultimately avoidable. And they are so stupid that they get into them anyway. Aside from that, the acting in this is okay. A couple of them, like the guy who played Xavier, he's not a good actor. I didn't like him.
Which one, Xavier?
The douchey drug dealer guy.
Yeah.
The really, really nice one.
Yeah, right.
Oh, see.
Yeah, I didn't care for the Mexican lady.
I didn't like her either.
Yeah, she had a stupid
He
fucking.
was going on about her shirt. He's like, I fucking hate her stupid shirt.
Why? Because her fucking nipples were hard the whole time?
No, it was
it's
like
the
that.
blue thing.
It's like down here and like fucking is like this the whole fucking time.
I noticed that. Like, what was that? Like, it was like she had something in there.
It's the type of cut it is.
Yeah, it was
and he was
weird.
like, "What's up with that fucking medallion on there? Is that a necklace?" I'm like, "No, I think it's part of the shirt." He's like, "It's fucking stupid." Like he kept going on and on about it.
Yeah, it's fuck. Like I don't understand. Like, what person in their right mind is gonna fucking go out?
Well, I don't think that was her choice. Pretty sure that was like the
Yeah,
design
they usually have
department. Like
wardrobe that picks that
obviously,
stuff out.
but they're not involved with what's happening on the screen. We just assume that she just got up that day, decided to look
I'm
fucking
gonna wear
pretty
this.
or whatever.
Look fucking
And then
pretty that day.
Put that stupid fucking thing in and then get fucking kidnapped.
And then stick her hands in razor blades.
Like an idiot.
Yeah.
Sure, she woke up that day with that whole plan in place.
Yeah. I'm gonna wear this stupid thing so some jackhole on a podcast. can make
So
fun of me.
Donnie Wahlberg is the worst detective I've ever seen in a movie.
This is
Even the girl detective didn't do enough. I felt like she could have influenced that a lot more, being a detective. The SWAT team going into Jigsaw's factory or whatever. Fucking stupid. Like, why didn't you guys know this already? You should have known this.
Yeah.
Oh
This
no,
isn't your
my
first
legs!
fucking
You didn't see
rodeo.
that coming?
Wait,
Yeah.
didn't Donnie's character and that one dizzy lady, didn't they like hint at having an affair with each other?
Yeah, they
That's
slept
why
with
he
each other. That's why he got divorced.
That's why he got the divorce.
Okay,
and
yeah.
But like all these things, and I just can't get behind this movie that well. You know what I mean? It's just not. I'm not a fan of it. This might be actually one of the worst ones in the whole franchise. You know, I don't know. Like I can't really remember the later ones with like 6 and 7 and all that. But like I know this one here. I know the third one's better than this one. I can't get behind it, man. I just can't do it. I'll give it a 5. I'm gonna give it a 5. It's mediocre to me, as they say in Fury Road. Mediocre.
Well, I definitely liked it better than you guys did. I don't really have a problem with the flashiness. I think that was just sort of the time frame in which it was made. I agree that it's overly done now because it was sort of like that. Was it that blue tinge thing that everybody was, or that it started out only 1 or 2 people were doing it, and then everybody started doing it. So I don't know. It doesn't bother me because it was a thing that wasn't being done much, and now it's being done all the fucking time. So.
Well, it's like that Flash where they like they want to change scenes, so they cut to a negative. It's like a negative and a negative, and it's annoying.
I think at the time not a lot of people were doing it, so it doesn't really bother me. I think now it's overly done, but it doesn't really bother me in this movie. I think that you guys are giving yourselves too much credit for what you would do in that situation.
Maybe, but
I don't.
I'm definitely
think
gonna give myself more credit than them.
That's fine. You can. I just don't think that in a situation like that you're gonna think as clearly as you think you will.
Maybe,
That's all I'm saying.
But I feel like I'm gonna think
I
more.
get what she's saying. Like
I
we
do
can
too.
We can pump it up. Like we're cool.
Yeah.
Or whatever. We're not gonna do some dumb bullshit like that. But if it actually
That's
came
why I'm
down
saying the
to
one
it, you
hand.
might.
I'll give her the one hand.
Yeah.
That was my biggest gripe about it too. Was the one hand. I know that the poison was starting to take effect on him, and it was starting to like.
Well, in the furnace, okay, the furnace was the first thing, and I get that it's avoidable. But if you think you're gonna die, and there are 2 antidotes in there, and you're still
sit back
early,
and think about it.
I
with
know,
your people.
but you're still early enough in it that you still think there's a chance. You haven't had enough things happen yet. I'm just saying. I think,
But
I
still,
think
though, not even one person out of all 7 of them, not one person sat back and said, "Hey, hold on a minute, let's think about this."
They don't care about
They don't
that.
give a
They don't
shit.
care.
They're like,
no,
"Oh,
they
yeah,
don't,
get your
they
ass
don't
in
care
there."
about him specifically though, because he helped get them, and they are all pissed at him at this point.
Well, not just
Yeah,
that,
that I
but you
can
also
understand.
That
have
guy,
this-
he was
Yeah.
a sacrificial lamb to all of them at that point, and he knew it. So he had either a choice to get in that furnace,
That's true.
or
I
they were
guess,
going to kill him.
Yeah, get the fuck
Well,
in
not
there.
only that, but you have
That
this
that
one
scene in
chick-
particular, I understand that one
Right.
100%. I don't care. That one's fine to me.
They could have helped him.
Yeah, they could have helped him. You're
Yeah,
absolutely
they
right, because
could've-
that would have
they
helped
could've
them
Stop the
all.
fucking door from shutting.
They could have helped him get the antidotes.
Mhm. And then they could turn the furnace on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying.
They
I'm not
coulda
saying.
whooped his ass, threw him in there, and let him on fire.
Yeah, that I understand. Like, I don't understand why they didn't turn off the furnace, but I understand why he got in there. I understand, all of that.
See, I don't understand why he can get in there, because you got this guy who just had his brains blew out because he didn't listen to the chick that's been telling all of them they just need to.
Either way, he was
slow
dead,
down
Madison.
And check it out.
Either way, he was dead.
I know. But if I were him, if I were in his shoes and I just kidnapped a bunch of people, I'd still check it out. Like, look in there before I crawled in
He
there.
did. That's why he was walking around that furnace.
Yeah, he was.
He
looking.
was the first one. He already had that. They had already pulled out that thing that had his name on it. He knew this was his game. He already knew it. Either way, he was dead.
I don't trust it.
But in any case, my only point that I'm trying to make is that I think that in these situations, you never know how you're going to react or how you're going to be until you're in it. And I don't think you're ever going to think as clearly as you think you're going to think. Ever. That's my only point, and I'll drop it. But I think that as far as the storylines, and to be fair, I don't remember the storylines very well, and I have only seen 1, 2, and 3. I do really like the fact that he used his own weaknesses against him. Well, she did. His own cockiness, his own anger, his own, all he had to do was do his job. That's all he had to do. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was sort of a stroke of genius in this one. I really like that. There are a lot of flaws. I mean, them walking in there balls to the wall and getting their fucking legs kicked out from under them. But I think it serves a purpose. I think that's just the torture porn. They're trying to, check a box. There's got to be so much of that going on in this movie, and I understand that. So I don't really fault it for a lot of the same things you guys are faulting it for. And I think that as far as the plot goes, I think that the plot was pretty darn good. So I am going with a 7.
Okay. Jeremiah, what do you think, man?
I liked it. I've always liked it. Some of the issues, with the traps, shit like that. It's kind of mind-boggling, I guess. But I mean, overall, it was always one of my favorites. I think I've seen up to 7, I think. And yeah, I don't know. If I had to, I'd probably say maybe a 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah.
So that's a 5.75.
5.75. That's not terrible. Madison, why don't you give us those Rotten Tomatoes?
Sure, yes, sure. So you guys gonna guess or like?
What do you guys think?
Oh wait, do we do? No,
No.
never mind. I'm not gonna ask it.
For critics, I'm gonna say 43.
Okay.
47.
I think it's lower. I'm gonna. What'd you say? 43, 47. Shut the
Quiet,
fuck up.
please.
I'm thinking. Tell me to hurry up.
Tell me to hurry up. It's a library.
I'm gonna lowball you guys. I'm gonna go 40%.
You said 43, 47, 40. It's gonna be Dad. It's 37%.
That's pretty close.
Critics' consensus. Saw 2 is likely to please the gore-happy fans of the...
Do you fucking mind?
He's just in his driveway honking.
I don't know what they're doing.
Of the original, though it may be too gruesome for those not familiar with the first film's premise.
It's not even that gruesome.
All right,
It's
audience.
really not though either.
No, like
I told you they were putting that scene in there for a reason.
the fucking like the needle scene.
This might honestly be the least gruesome.
Oh, the
of
needle,
all of
but
them.
that needle scene that lives with you.
Yeah.
Like that is one thing I
don't
do
like
remember, and
needles,
I've
but
remembered
when he
that
picked
all
her
this
up
time.
and fucking chucked her into
Yeah.
that fucking pit.
But this is probably the least gory of all of them.
Oh yeah,
For
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
but that needle scene, it sticks with. I remembered that scene even all this time. Like I had forgotten so much about it.
Right.
But out of all it, like I'd forgotten.
I couldn't
one,
remember
I'd
if that
forgotten two,
needle
I'd
scene was
forgotten
in
three,
this
but,
one
oh
or
my
the
God.
next one. That was the thing. It was like I knew there was a needle scene. I couldn't remember if it was this one or the next one. So
Yeah.
whenever it came out, I was like, oh yeah, I know this.
No,
one.
every time I see it,
I'd forgotten so much about these movies,
Especially-
but I
Doesn't sit
never
well.
forgot
When
that
she
that
start-
needle pit.
when she starts fucking swimming
Oh,
in it.
yeah.
I
to
remember.
find the fucking key
I
or
just
whatever.
remember thinking, watching it, like, so I knew she was the bad guy at the end of it, and I'm like
Oh,
thinking,
yeah.
like, I wonder if this was part of her plan to get thrown in that fucking pit. I bet it wasn't.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't.
No, I ain't.
All right, audience.
Mm,
I bet it's gonna be higher.
I want to say 65.
I don't know about
Do
that.
54.
Damn, you guys are like in my area.
We're playing in your backyard.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
65.
Okay, 54.
65, 54. I feel like it's gonna be in there somewhere. You said 65. I'm gonna go 70.
I think it's 59, so I think, yeah, Jeremiah
baby.
got it. Because it's
5-1.
4 away, and then Karen's is 6 away, and then yours is out of the
Way,
ball
way.
field. So
Oh, they're in my fucking backyard. Get out of my yard.
I thought you were gonna go for 60, not 70.
I
Hey,
thought
you
I
kids,
thought about
get off
going
my
lower
lawn.
than that, but I was like, eh.
Well, I would have went right in between them just to throw 'em
Yeah,
off.
maybe. Oh well.
Yep,
$1
Jeremiah's
down.
got it. Who got it the first time?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What did you get any
I did.
reviews?
You want me to do it now?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You guys
probably-
do the synopsis after this, right?
What? No, we do that at the beginning.
We
Before
already,
No,
we already
the,
did that.
Never mind.
There's trivia after this.
What am I thinking about? Then?
What are you thinking about? She don't even know what kind of podcast she's
Oh,
on.
I know.
do.
I mean, she does
What's
this,
the thing that I always ask about before?
us doing our reviews.
Oh, yeah, I get the reviews and the Rotten Tomatoes flip-flop, don't I?
But you usually ask that before we do our reviews because he says something about doing the reviews and they go, wait, what about Rotten Tomatoes? It's usually how this goes.
Every
Oh.
time. Every time.
Okay. Austin K with 1 star says, plot and editing sucks, but I'm hooked in. This one was definitely worse than the first.
I think some of the editing does suck in this movie.
It does. I didn't think
Yeah.
the plot was all that bad.
I didn't think the plot was terrible.
Oh, it was smart at the end. I was like, oh, that's a cool
Yeah, I didn't think the
ending.
plot was bad. I
Yeah.
didn't think of that at all.
Half a star, more useless.
Actually, I will say honestly that, like, Karen, you're right about that. The plot is actually the strongest part of this movie.
Yeah.
The plot is clever.
Yeah.
Especially the lead up
Mm-hmm.
when he ends up in the
Yeah.
end of the.
I just think
first.
that I
He
think
gives
that
him
what
every opportunity.
Yeah, I think
and
that
he
what
points
kills
at it
me
at
in this
every opportunity.
has nothing to do with the plot. It's the traps, the editing, the a lot of the acting, just all those things. Nothing to do with the
Yeah,
story.
I get that,
But
and
then-
I understand that. Me, I really like the cat and mouse stuff. So like, I'm really like watching a
Yeah,
lot. I'm
that-
watching a lot of the interaction between him and Matthews, and I mean, I get that 90% of it, the bulk of it, is you're watching them in the house
Yeah.
and stuff. But I really love that cat and mouse stuff. I like to watch the interaction.
Yeah, I didn't mind that stuff between Donnie Wahlberg and John Kramer. That whole thing going on there didn't
So-
bother me.
And you're right. Like
Yeah.
then when he goes back into the house, yeah, gargling the balls, cupping the
And that's
balls.
gonna
Gotta
be
cup
on
the
Reddit.
balls.
That's gonna be on Reddit. On Reddit.
But I mean, like you're like when he goes back into the house, or when he goes into the house, and you're watching him, and you know, I mean, I just like it.
I just had a thought. I just seen Kramer there. It was
Oh.
like, what if he played Jigsaw? What if
Oh,
Michael Richards
God.
played Jigsaw?
I think he would only target black people. Because obviously.
I'll tell you what though. One thing about Saul though, like I told him, I can't take seriously when he says I want to play a game. I cannot.
I can't either. You want to play a game?
No,
No.
it's because of you ever seen that YouTube working
Living
with Jigsaw?
Yes.
or
Yeah.
working
I
with
can't.
Jigsaw.
Ever since then, I cannot. Whenever I hear you, I want to play a
He
game.
feeds the dog the keys. He's like,
No, it's the work. The specifically the working with Jigsaw, the one where he pops up and he's like, "Hey Cheryl," and he's like,
Wanna play a game?
he's like, "I want to play a game. I put a virus on your computer, and can you get rid of all these porn pop-ups before the hot IT guy gets here with the world's deadliest mouse?" And it's like this mouse just covered with tacks, like taped to the mouse.
Oh my god.
The one I remember
The
seeing
best.
is
Hold the elevator.
the
Hold
one
the
I remember
elevator.
seeing is
Watch
Living with
it.
Jigsaw.
Yeah,
And they
that
have an
was. I think it
apartment
was
together.
just the working and the living.
Oh yeah, the working with Jigsaw is way funnier. I'm telling you, look it up. It's way funnier than the roommate one. Oh my god.
Oh, wait.
Hold the elevator. Hold the elevator.
I'm coming. He's just like,
He's on the little track.
I do agree with you though. If that guy would have stopped and like chilled out for a minute and like did his job and looked around the place looking for clues and everything, maybe he would have happened upon that safe and turned to him and been like, "What's in the safe?"
you know.
I think he was a cop who just didn't want to be a cop anymore.
Well, my point though is that I get what you were saying about it being personal, but the point is that he was like that whether it was personal or not.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know, the thing that baffles me is fucking, you know he's got anger issues, and then John sits there and tells him, he's like, whatever you do to me, it's not gonna matter.
Right.
I literally have cancer, so whatever you do. Then he fucking goes off and fucking beats his ass anyways. Like,
Yeah, and then he's like, "Go ahead, follow me.
yeah.
See what happens."
yeah.
We have to go by ourselves though. Like,
I want to play a game.
Let's play a game.
yeah,
Just
you're gonna
you and
go
me,
by
buddy.
yourselves. What are you, a fucking moron?
He says, hold the secret elevator.
Yeah.
Oh man. Half a star by Ghost R. Ghost R.
Writer.
Writer. Sure. It's not what I was thinking.
I remember
Yeah.
that show. PBS.
Ghostwriter.
Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like a little orb. That it was like a
Oh, Ghost Writer.
Ghost Rider.
I'm just thinking of the comic book character Ghost Rider.
Oh no,
He had
Ghost
the
Rider.
flaming skull head.
I know who you're
Isn't
talking
that- I
about.
thought that was a movie.
It's also a movie, but it's a Marvel. It's a
It's a
Marvel,
Marvel
character.
character.
Gotcha.
Nicolas Cage.
Half a star, more useless torture porn, and this time worse. A star and a half by Jimmy V. Jimmy Virgin. Sorry.
Jimmy
Boring.
Vagina.
Boring and very confusing. Saw one was so much better.
It's not that
A
confusing.
star. At least the needle pit was cute.
What the fuck?
Fuck. You need to go see a therapist.
Jimmy B, you are a nutsack.
2 stars by Robert
I just
P.
sent it
Robert
to you.
Penis. Aw.
I just sent you the,
Oh, I
the
gotcha.
link.
Sorry. 2 stars, full of blood and gore and people being killed off by poison gas. This movie fails to live up to Saw, the original, which I gave 4 stars to.
Ooh.
You're a fucking baller.
Blood and gore.
The thing I
Alright.
hate about the
Show
first
me
one
the
is
way.
Adam
This
died.
is the last one I got. It's 2 stars by Alex Idiot. No, it's Alex I.
Okay.
Um,
I'd have laughed if his real name was Idiot.
this movie tried keeping the mystery element, but cranked the gore.
What?
the fuck?
Not at all.
Which is when this franchise took a turn for the worst. This film is okay, it's not great. Donnie's detective character is so cardboard cutout, it's sad. The twist this time was okay, but it bummed me out.
That's a good
but
reason to hate it.
Sorry, I
It's
skipped a
personal.
line.
It bummed me out.
I
Oh, you
skipped
skipped.
a line.
Okay, sorry.
The twist this time was okay, but it really tried to get the nostalgia out of you, and it bummed me out.
Nostalgia?
You
I
know,
guess.
Is
so.
that something you had in your childhood?
It
Just
was- it
like
only
traps
came out a
and
few
I
more-
don't remember
I was gonna
that.
say,
in
it
my
I don't
came
childhood.
understand.
out a
Like,
few
it's
more-
not like the movie was like It's not like Saw 1 came out like 30 years ago and they just made
Yeah.
a sequel for it. Like it's movie, like they had the Saw 1 and then Saw 2 came out a couple years later.
I don't
I don't
understand how
think
that's
they-
nostalgic at all.
Yeah, I don't think they
Here.
know what nostalgia
This is
means.
what we
I don't
need
think
to
they
do.
do
We need
either.
to Jay and Silent Bob it.
Just
We'll
go
out
and
where,
find
like,
all these people.
especially like that dude. Like,
Are
all the
you
gore
Alex
was-
Idiot? And did you write
Yeah,
the
like, all
the traps
gore
made
was
it
too much.
nostalgic?
No, they should have. So Donnie Wahlberg's character should have been played by a monkey like Wes Craven did in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Like statistics show that everybody loves monkeys.
That's
So
hilarious.
like he was filming his new Scream movie and they took the mask off and he was a monkey.
That's hilarious.
Instead of being creative this time around, this felt like a quick and easy sequel. I do not like
Green
that
eggs
we get
in
to
him?
know more about John, but making him think he's a hero of justice instead of a murderous psychopath doesn't sit right with me. So in the end, Saw 2 is nothing more than an attempt to
He brings
be
up a good
worthy
point there.
but falling flat.
I always hated that when people would talk about how smart he is and how moralistic and all that. He's a psycho.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Like, I don't care. Oh, but he's just trying to get people to enjoy life. It's every fucking person's.
They're not
I
going
was
to
gonna
enjoy
say, they're not
life
gonna
if he
enjoy
attempts to
life.
kill them and they go through life.
No, they're going to be fucking
They're
traumatized.
traumatized.
You know how
They're not
many
going to enjoy
people-
life at all.
And
Do you know how many
Vietnam
people walk
flashbacks.
away from
They're
a
gonna go to
traumatic
therapy for the
event and
rest
try
of
to
their
kill
life.
themselves?
Like, she literally tried to kill herself, and she survived. She was the only one that survived.
Now, she did try to kill herself, but that was because he wanted her to. Remember the flashback? He was.
That's
It was
weird.
a whole thing.
All right, let's move on.
You have to experience what it's like to want death.
Okay.
Excuse me?
Let's move on. Let's
No.
get into some of that sweet ass trivia, Karen.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
The bathroom, which was the main set for Saw, had to be recreated for this film.
I figured.
To conceal the ending, most of the actors were not given the last 25 pages of the script. Only the principal actors involved in the sequence knew. It took 4 days for 4 people to replace all of the syringe tips with fiber tips for the needle pit trap. Gelatin and a little water were added to the needle pit to make the syringes more movable and slippery. When shooting the needle pit scene, a handful of real needles fell into the pit, thus causing the crew to halt filming and find the needles before filming could commence.
I heard
They're-
about that.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
still
I
be
did
scared
too.
to jump in there after
Therefore,
that.
they were literally searching for needles in a needle pit. In keeping with the magic of the first film, the whole film was shot in one building. The hall detective Matthews walks down to pick up his son at the security guard's office was actually a dressing room for the crew. It was also shot in 25 days. Shawnee Smith was pregnant during filming, but it kept it a secret from everyone, including the director.
She didn't even look pregnant.
Her daughter gave the secret away one day during lunch, but only to Darren Lynn Bousman.
She was hot then, man. Shawnee Smith. She was pretty. I could see. Who was it that had a crush on? Was it
The
James
guy
Wan?
in the first one, I think it was the director of the first one.
It was James Wan, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe, I think so.
It was James
Yeah.
Wan. He wanted to get her for the movie because he had the hots for her.
Yeah.
I was like, I could see why.
James Wan didn't direct it, though, did he?
Yeah.
I think James Wan did the first one.
Yeah.
Did he do the first one?
Yeah, because him and Lee Winnell are good
I thought it
friends.
was Lee Winnell.
Lee,
No,
he
Lee
wrote
Winnell
it.
Wrote it.
Yeah, he wrote it.
Ah, okay.
The film originated as a script called The Desperate that writer-director Darren Lynn Bousman had been trying to make. After being told that it was too violent, Greg Hoffman of Twisted Pictures finally wanted to do it as he suspected that their Saw, which had gotten rave reviews, might become a huge box office hit. They wanted to capitalize on that success, with Hoffman's fellow producers Mark Berg and Orrin Cowles even suggesting to turn The Desperate into Saw 2. Lee Winnell, who wrote the first film, was then brought on to help with creating his original idea into a proper sequel to Saw. Henry Rollins was originally cast to play the role of Xavier. Due to scheduling conflicts, he was replaced with Frankie G.
I would have rather seen him do it.
I think so too. I think I'd rather see Henry Rollins in there.
Yeah.
The Doctors on High, everybody, a bad medicine podcast, called this film 500% medically accurate. This means the film was 5 times more accurate than the Human Centipede, which is marketed as 100% medically accurate and is used as the baseline for comparison.
Who the fuck is looking at these movies like that's medically accurate?
Well, that's their shtick. These doctors on this podcast, they watch movies and determine how accurate it is medically.
What's this podcast called?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick.
Yeah, Simpsons. Hi, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's called Hi, Everybody, a bad medicine podcast.
Right.
A few of the traps actually worked.
I never heard of it. I might have to check that one out.
A few of the traps actually worked. The death mask could actually slam shut. Turning the key could cause the gun to fire. And the blades in the razor box trap could actually cut someone.
Holy fucking shit.
If they were metal.
Why?
If they were metal.
Oh, okay. Like the gun?
Yeah, like if it was loaded, it would work. The death mask, if it was the spikes were real.
I don't think I'd be willing to stick my fucking face up to that eye hole.
Why not?
Because that gun goes off right on the other side of it. No, thank you.
At the end of the film, Xavier cuts his number off the back of his neck and puts it in his pocket. On the DVD commentary, it is revealed that the script called for Xavier to merely toss the skin away. But when Frankie G chose to put it in his pocket instead, the crew loved it so much they used his choice. The razor box trap containing the syringe actually has a padlock with a key in it. It can be seen just out of focus at the top of the screen when Addison puts her hands into the trap. The filmmakers deliberately included this as a way of showing that Jigsaw knew the characters would rush in without checking the trap for a simple solution. There was a lot of backstory about the game's participants, which was deleted for pacing reasons. According to the commentary on the DVD, Addison was a prostitute, which was merely implied in the finished film.
Which one was Addison?
The one with the stupid shirt.
The one that died stupidly too.
Yeah.
Sorry, died.
Yeah, the one that I don't particularly care for because of said stupid ass wardrobe.
I don't give a fuck about a wardrobe. She's an idiot for sticking her hands in that box.
And don't.
idiot for
And
wearing
I'm
that
sorry.
fucking
Don't
shirt.
actresses and stuff have like a little clothes thing to choose from?
No.
No.
Usually
Wardrobe
they just made
does that.
it. Yeah, they made the choice for you. Because they usually know like what they're going for aesthetically.
Yep.
I don't know if I was
So.
her, I'd been like, fuck that. I ain't caught dead.
I ain't
yet.
fucking wearing that shirt.
Especially if I'm sticking my arms up. in
You
there.
will be
No,
caught
yeah.
dead in that shirt.
Like,
She had sex with Detective Matthews in the back of a police car, but they were discovered and the scandal led to Eric's demotion. However, he made sure that Addison would be incarcerated anyway. Gus was an embezzler of money. The needle in the glass box trap was actually intended for him with the symbolic reference of the proverb trying to reach into the cookie jar. Laura was incarcerated because she was a shoplifter. The trap meant for her, however, was neither revealed nor mentioned in the commentary.
Wait, who was the glass trap for?
The one you got your hands in was for Gus. He was a thief.
Guy that got his brains blowed out? Or yeah.
Yeah, he was a thief. So you put your hands.
Gotcha.
So that wasn't intended for her. That was intended for him.
Mm-hmm. If you notice when she walks in, the
little
the
letter.
envelope had his name on it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
I was trying to see who it was, but she ripped it away too fast.
Yeah. Various items from the house can be seen in Jigsaw's lair when Detective Matthews is questioning him, hinting that the video feed is old. And I told him this before I did trivia about the X, but according to director Darren Lynn Bousman, the rope and the paddle that Amanda picked up were both in the lair, but very hard to spot. One item is the picture with the X marks the spot on it, prominently seen behind Jigsaw. Jigsaw states that if Detective Matthews plays along with his game and listens long enough, he will find his son Daniel in a safe and secure state. Jigsaw is already providing a clue to Daniel's location, as he is literally found in a safe at the end. The syringe found on the floor when Eric discovers the contraption door leading to the basement was allegedly the antidote that saved Daniel's life. Amanda made sure that Daniel would not be killed by the gas inside the house. Like the first film saw, the instigator of this scenario is a participant who is lying down face down in the middle of the floor when the others wake up. And the last one, I actually mentioned this to Jeremiah before I was doing trivia too. A reference to the Wes Craven directed horror film The Last House on the Left is made when Jigsaw is taking Eric to the house. Eric asks which way to go, and Jigsaw replies, "It's the last house on the left." Monica Potter, who played Allison Gordon in Saw, would also star in the 2009 remake of The Last House on the Left.
She was in what?
The remake, 2009 remake, and she played
his
the,
wife,
the doctor's
Gordon's
wife in
in
the
the
first
one.
Dr. Gordon's wife. She played the mom in
Last House on the Left
remake.
Who was it that played the mom?
Monica Potter.
Which one's that?
Nick Cage's wife.
Nick Cage's wife in Con Air.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
where's she at in this one? Oh,
No,
in the first one.
in the first
I'm
one.
saying, yeah,
Yeah.
she wasn't in this.
No.
Also, you notice the address for the place is 237.
Yeah,
like
237, yeah.
Room 237.
And that is all I got.
Oh, boy. It's done. Saw 2.
One more to go.
One more to go. How about we just do it next week? Get it out of the way. No.
That's on you.
No, we're gonna draw from the box, people. Calm down.
RoboCop.
I'm with you on that. Like, I want to watch RoboCop.
Is that the right one?
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box? I'd buy that for $1 as a bump.
I'd buy that for $1. RoboCop?
The Mask.
Okay,
okay.
I just watched that movie not that long
A
ago.
comedy.
Oh,
Too
we're
bad you
watching
watched
the
it
comedy
again.
one?
Yeah.
Not the one with Cher and Rocky.
Fuck no.
Rocky Dennis and his weirdness.
His weirdness.
We're not doing that. No.
Yeah.
The Mask.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
I think that one's just called Mask.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's just Mask. Because whenever I was a kid, I used to get confused. Like, wait, which one? And it was
Okay.
Mask.
Yeah, I think you guys are right. I think it's just called Mask.
So.
That had Eric
We
Stoltz.
get
Eric
dark
Stoltz is the
Stoltz,
one
yeah.
that played the yeah.
Eric Stoltz.
Have you
Played
guys seen
Rocky.
The Kitty at all?
He turned. Remember he turned down a big role to play in that one, or something like that, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when it came.
I
out.
don't remember what he turned
I
down.
don't know what he turned down, but it was like a big role he turned down to go play to
Rocky.
be in Mask.
I think I've seen it once and that's it.
I don't even know if I've seen it all the way through. I just know what it is.
I don't know.
All right, so next week we will be doing The Mask with Jim Carrey. So guess who our creator profile will be?
Don't guess yet.
Mm, Cameron
Mariah
Diaz.
Mariah Carey.
I mean, honestly, we could.
Mariah Carey.
Dude that played the bad guy.
That's
I
a
don't
good
even know
guess.
his
That's a
name.
good guess. Good guess.
I've
Matthew
seen him in two
Broderick. Oh wait,
things.
The
wrong Jim
guy
Carrey movie.
that was in
The cop guy.
no, it was one of his
Oh,
cronies.
yeah, the crony that
It
was also in Die
Die
Hard.
Oh, he was
3
also
or
in Die
whatever,
Hard, yeah.
That would be
the
a
guy
short
with the,
one.
The guy with the rat tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the rat tail.
That'd be a really short
that
one.
guy. You'd be like, he was in these 2 movies that we've seen. But
The end.
I'm sure he's been in other stuff.
yeah, but he probably like
He's
bit
that guy
on
that you're
the
like, holy
background
shit, it's that
character.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
he's that guy. That
That
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Hey, that guy. You remember that guy,
Yep.
right?
You
They
know that
need to
one
come out
guy?
with a full-blown documentary about those people that you're like, hey, it's
It
that
wouldn't
guy.
be just be a documentary though. They'd have to do like a series.
series?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be
Called
awesome.
That
I'd
Guy.
watch that
Oh, I
shit.
would too.
That
Holy
guy.
shit, it is
You
that
thought
guy.
You
It's
seen
that
that.
guy.
Like they
And
could
they-
describe it and then be like, have you figured out who that guy is this week? And then
Yeah.
they show a picture.
Like the I think he's Vietnamese or something. The Vietnamese guys that was in like the first Die Hard movie, but he's always like some kind of crony.
Oh,
He was
I know
in
who
like
you're talking. He always got like the ponytail,
yeah, he's
right?
always got the ponytail or the mullet.
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
was also in fucking Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
He takes the cone to the back of the head.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have to call it That Guy.
Yeah,
That's what
That
the series
Guy.
has
Yeah.
to be called. That Guy.
I think we just came up with something, guys.
Yeah.
Something big.
And
Yeah.
they could go interview all of these guys for an episode. It'd be awesome, man. I'd watch that shit.
Don't fucking steal our idea. We'll come for you.
Yeah.
Or do, so we can watch
But
it.
give us credit and some money.
Yeah.
Just let us come on.
Sponsor
We can host it.
Yeah,
We can host that shit.
we could host it.
You could be really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
I'm here for
Next week we're
emotional
gonna do The
support.
Mask with Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz. Don't forget to check out all our social stuff: Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. Don't forget to come over and actually, why do I say don't forget? Come over here and talk to us at Discord, and let's talk. Like maybe you don't agree, maybe you like Saul more than us or less than us. Come tell us why.
Dude, yell at us.
Yeah, yell at us. Also, get on and like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
and find us on Spotify and all that. And
Dad'll
rate
show
us
you a
and
titty if you do.
I'll show you my
Ali
titty.
on.
Huh?
That's that
name.
guy. That guy.
From Die Hard? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
that's the
Ali
fucking
on.
that's
guy.
the fucking guy, right? What is that? A mugshot?
Looks
a
like
fucking
a-
mugshot. Looks like a mugshot.
That's how he got the jobs. He sent out a mugshot instead of a headshot. Of
Oh shit, he was in Double Dragon too.
course he was.
Was
That
he?
guy.
Of
Double
course.
Dragon,
Yeah.
yeah, he was behind he was in Robert Patrick, whoever Robert Patrick was. Like he was the
He was the
bad
main
guy,
bad guy, yeah.
But he was in his
Gang.
His
Gang
little
or
gang or
whatever,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, till next week. You guys have yourselves a fine week. And sorry about the late podcast. We'll get you one on time next week. So
I
you
won't
guys
be
have
here.
yourselves a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.